So how are you doing this day? Fine. Okay. Hello there, you too. Yeah. So friends, this is our class number. According to this, class number 3. Never mind. We can come back to 2 class. No problem. So in the first class, I hope you remember what I told you. I think we met a long time back, is it? Yeah. Oh. So anyway, let's go to class number 2. Are you sure it's class number 2? Because it won't be repeated again. Class 2, I told you, the class when I told you, lecture 1, what are these? A very easy examination. And what? The main key to the examination is 2 keys are there. Number 1, both are interconnected. One is revision, other is that yes, positive thinking is okay. But one is revision, other is writing, my dear boys and girls. Writing is very important, which you people don't do. This is something bad. You always don't know why don't you really follow it. Writing is important because I told you probably, we know you what you reproduce in your answer sheet. We do not know your R.S. Sharma, BL, or what is it, Bipin Chandran, or we don't know. We know you what. And that writing is very important. And writing has to be very precise because you are given a box. You have to write only in this box. So not writing here and there, that's very important. And I'll give you a model answer today how to write, which is not done anywhere else. How to write with precise method. That's it. Now, today, last time again, I told you about one thing which you had been bossing all the time. You see, people are coming to me, sir, art and culture mein kya padna hai? Art and culture mein kya padna? My dear boys, I told you, art and culture is a part of history. Art and culture has a subject, is a paper, in the GS paper, second. Here you have to read art and culture in the background of, in the backdrop of historical developments. I told you, my dear boys and girls, if you remember, if you want to know the modern art, you must know the Mauryans. If you want to know about, Buddhist art, you must know about Buddhism. So first of all, read our history and art will be part of it. And that is why I'll tell you here in the class. But these are 2 things. And art and culture, yes. This is 2 types of art and culture paper we have. In GS, we have prelims, you have objective type. And in mains, you have to descript it. So that practice you have to have. Otherwise, very easy examination I told you. Now today, last time I told you what actually is history is. And what is art and culture. I hope art and culture now is very clear to you. Any problem with art and culture, please let me know. But this is most confusing you people, I don't know why. People come to me with art and culture book, say please tick kar dijiye. There is nothing there trick, my dear boys. Wait. Nothing to you. And you start with art and culture separate. No, art and culture is a part of it. Repeat, I repeat. Now, anything you have to art and culture, you know. And other thing I told you, you must follow the syllabus. People do not know, you have to follow the syllabus, art forms. Many people, they don't know what is art forms. Is it very clear to you now? What meaning by art forms? What is art forms? I told you, it's very simple terms. I told you last, did I tell you about art forms or not? What is art form? What is it? Architecture? What is literature? As a part of syllabus. No. See, my dear boys and girls, art and forms, I tell you, the 2 types of forms are there. Remember? Anybody? Performing art and visual art. A performing art, maybe people do not know. Nobody. I told you what is performing art, what is visual art. आपको जो पढ़ना है वो सिर्फ वहां से किताब में कोई भी किताब पढ़ रहे हैं only art forms में जो performing art और visual art पढ़ रहे हैं architecture शुरू से आके that's all. So don't get confused with art and culture paper, which is will be bothering many of you. Anyway, today I'm going to give you the whole road map. Here, Paul, I'm going to teach you whole history in half a lecture. Whole history, which is confusing many people. Because many of you come to me, sir, कभी कोई teacher आ जाता है, कभी कोई teacher आ जाता है, कुछ पढ़ा जाता है, समझ नहीं आ रहा. I'm giving you the whole thing so you can connect and interconnect everything. So, what is the whole history we have to read? This lecture should have been done earlier, but for some reason, of course, now it's later. No problem. So, what do we start about syllabus? What is our history? What is the first thing which we read in history is, what is it? What do you call it? Prehistory. Prehistory. Actually, the earliest phase of human history, we divide into 3 parts. Earliest part of history is divided into 3 parts. Which are 3 parts? What are 3 parts? Number 1, anybody? What do you call? Listen, picture logo, समझने की कोशिश करो. First thing is prehistory. This is a problem of ancient history. It's not from medieval modern में ये problem नहीं है. Other please call. What is it? Proto-history. And then we call history. These are the earliest three phases when you talk about ancient period. What is prehistory? I don't know whether I explained. Did I explain to you? No. What is prehistory? Prehistory is the period when man did not know writing. So our sources are very limited. What are sources of history? Only archaeological excavation. जो कुछ जमीन में मिला है, we try to work it out. Some tool मिला है. How do we, then we talk to the tool. Hey, Mr. Tool, who are you? Where you come from? What do you use? We are asking. It's a monologue. But what we get and then can be under archaeology. Archaeology is the main thing because man at the time had not developed writing. And no, what is it? This period, writing is there, but we are not able to decode it, just like Harappan period. So again, our knowledge is limited. But they knew the writing, they had the script, we are not able to, we are ignorant about that. We call it proto-history. Then history is one when man, we had large number of literary sources. Literary sources means when man had writing, which we can decode. Why writing is important? Because writing means what is writing there? When we have writing, we can cross-check. So we have a better ground on knowing about the past. I'm repeating. The earliest phase of history, we generally divide three parts. Prehistory is the period when we don't know writing. Our knowledge is limited. Proto-history, knowledge is there. We know what is there, but we don't know the writing. Again, limited. Writing is, history comes up, then we are able to cross-check the facts and are on a better grounds. This is the old definition of history. But what is today? Prehistory is the period when man for survival doing what? How was he surviving? Hunting and gathering with the help of stone tools. So this is the use of stone technology. Here, proto-history means when started having better tool. What is that period? What started having? Copper. And what we call it? What do we call it? Chalcolithic period about. Chalcolithic period. Copper plus stone came to it. And this is a period when man had all this metal plus iron. What we see, I told you what is history. History is the growth of human civilization. The better tools coming up, better production coming up, better production, better prosperity coming up. So this is what the prehistory, proto-history, history. Earlier, our knowledge of prehistory was very limited, but now we have enough knowledge. So we have greater knowledge of prehistory. And what is a prehistory? I'm going to take up in the class today. Now, first phase is prehistory, which is the earliest phase of human history, earliest phase. After that, the next topic we'll be doing what? Next topic we'll be doing what you call, what is it? Harappan civilization or civilization. This is a Chalcolithic period. We talk about the what? So what we'll discuss Harappan civilization? We'll discuss about its main features, its origin, how did it originate? We'll discuss about its decline, how did it decline? We'll discuss all that. And then we will talk about what is important for civilization. It is the first urban civilization of a country. It is first urban civilization. It is the first urban civilization of our country. So we will discuss about all these things. One urban means what? What do you mean urban? What is urban? Urban means city life. How does cities develop? Trade and commerce. So these were the people discuss about. We will discuss how it is. We'll discuss about its trade and commerce. It's arts and craft. And also is town planning and architecture. I'm repeating. This is the first urbanization. We'll discuss about trade and commerce, arts and craft, and also town planning and architecture. Now, this is आपने एक चीज नोट किया. Arm with this art and architecture is a paper, second paper. But here I'll be covering art and architecture along with this civilization. I'll be taking, it's not separately, Harappan art and architecture, I'll be encircled with art and architecture. Then these are the things we'll discuss. Then we'll discuss about it. What are the important things? What are seeds? Seeds kya hai? We talk about this script. What is the problem of script? All these things we will, it's called Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization. So we'll discuss about that. The next phase of history is Harappan civilization. But the best, one of the first Harappan civilization of our country and the brightest phase of Indian history, which makes every Indian feel proud of himself. Next period is, what is the next period? Come on. Next period is, we call it Vedic period. Vedic period is period from 1500 to 600. Why we call it Vedic period? एक word important जो मैं बता रहा हूँ, please listen to me. Note it down. Everybody is important. That will make the whole history clear to you. Otherwise, you will be confused completely. What is Vedic period? जितने history के, I'm giving the gist of it. How we are going to do. Connecting ancient, medieval, modern, everything. Why call it Vedic period? Because our primary information on this period comes from the Vedas. They are the chief source of information. And the 4 Vedas are there, about we'll discuss. It's a long period. It's the period from 1500 to 600. So we divide it into 2 parts. What is it? Early Vedic period. I tell you, if you understand what I'm going to tell you today, you understand 1/3 of history. आपको 1/3 समझ में आ गई history. आपके सारी confusion खत्म हो जाएंगे. So we divide 2 parts, what you call early Vedic period. What is early Vedic period? The period from 1500 to 1000. When we the other piece called later Vedic period. Later Vedic period is from 1600. Why do we divide in 2 parts? Why do anybody? Why do we in 2 parts? Because in the later period we come across many changes in almost all the fields. Polity, society. What are changes? All changes in the field of polity, society, economy, religion, all. We talk about. We have the what? So I repeat, later period was marked by many changes in almost all the fields. What were the changes? Why were the changes? And what had the impact of the changes that we study? My dear boys and girls, last time I asked you what is history. Many of you said history is the study of past. Many of you. My dear, it's not study past. It is study of the past analysis. And the history is a subject. It's not a story. What is analysis? We want to know what thing happened, why it happened, and what the impact. Why impact? That is called analysis of history. Why Vedas were written? What is the impact of Vedas on society? That we did. Understand? History is the analysis of past events. What happened? Why happened? And what is the impact? ठीक है, 1526 में we have first battle of Panipat, but that's not enough. That's not all the history. History is what is the impact of the thing? How that marked the beginning of Mughal rule? Why Babur won? Why Babur won? We had a large force, but we lost. Babur won. Why? Yeah. Cannon, gunpowder. वैसे भी हमारी आर्मी क्या था? What was the army? We were banking on what? Which army? Come on. Elephants. Elephants. The sound of the gunpowder scared the elephants. They started moving their own, killing their own forces. The gun. So why it happened? And what is the impact? Uska impact kya hua? Led to the Mughal rule. So history is the analysis of past where my dear boys understand. What, why an impact? That I'll be discussing throughout. So what were the changes? Why was the and what have the impact? So that to understand them very clearly, we divide in 2 parts. For example, you student of sociology, read about the caste system, Varna system, and then many theories you read, but you do not know why it happened. What we notice here in early period, there was no Varna system, no caste system. It developed only later. Why? They do not know. They don't tell you. We will tell you. Why it happened, we will tell you. That's the study of why. That is called history. They remember whole life what I'm telling you. History is not just a past, not a past events, it's an analysis of past events. Right? So what were the changes, how were the changes, we'll discuss. And then we'll deal with here, what do you call it? Vedic literature, which is also part of mains paper. And the Vedic literature, what we'll discuss, main topic, one very important we'll discuss, which 99 people do not know, and that's a part of our culture, that's our DNA. What is the main part of Vedic literature? Tell me now. No, Rig Vedas, but Vedic literature, Vedas, Sub-Vedas are the Vedas. But what is the main feature, one of the main thing of the Vedas? Last part of the Vedas, last literature. Last, what is the last part of the Vedic literature is? What do you call it? Somebody? No? Yes, Vedanta, what is it called? Upanishad. So we will discuss what, and the last part, so we also call it Vedanta. And it contains what? What are Upanishads containing? You're right. What are Vedas containing? Upanishads containing? Our philosophy. What is philosophy? I discuss. And that's called Vedantic philosophy, which is our Indian philosophy, which is our DNA, which has made us what we are. These 99 people do not know, unfortunately. Anybody who does not know the Vedas does not know Indian culture at all. Because whatever culture we are having, what a tradition we are having, they are all in the Vedas, Vedanta. Vedanta is what you call, and it contains Indian philosophy. What is a philosophy? That's a philosophy ka kya matlab hai? Before the letter. Our philosophy is what? Our philosophy, which is different from, which makes a different from Islamic philosophy and Christian philosophy. What is philosophy? All right. Who tell me? What is philosophy? What is the difference between religion and philosophy? Who tell me? Very simple. Anybody? Simple question. Religion and philosophy. And that's a philosophy also. That has made a character. Religion is based on faith. No. Here what I'm talking is different. Rituals and philosophy are the principles. A principle, slightly closer. Anybody from backside? Explain philosophy. See, philosophy, basic. Yes, somebody? No. It's simple. The philosophy, but many definitions I don't know. I'm talking as a student of history. What I say, religion is rituals, of course. But what is religion? Religion is physical. And what is philosophy? Metaphysical. What is religion? When you think of this word, then you think physical, ritual. And what is metaphysical? When you think of the parlok, other lok. For example, which I may give you later on also if we get time. What is your religion? For example, why do you worship God? You people, why are you worshiping God? These are ज़्यादा याद कर रहे हैं भगवान को exam के लिए. Why go to the temple? Why do you go to temple? Hey God, हमको IAS दे डाले civil CS पढ़ा exam पढ़ा get me IAS है भगवान. And क्या करते हैं आप? What is ritual? You go to the temple. घंटी बजाया, प्रसाद चढ़ाया, वही भगवान जी से प्रसाद चढ़ाया, 100 रुपये पंडित जी को दिया. सोचा ये 100 रुपया एक आपने बड़ा दान दिया है पंडित जी के ऊपर आप पास. What is philosophy? Philosophy basically wisdom, inquiry. You think, why the hell should I worship God? Is there any God? Where is God? If God can help me, is it a God? Where is the God? Why? Then you ask yourself, should I take the civil services? If I don't take it, what will happen? If I do it, what will happen? You ask. The philosophy is inquiry. हम कौन हैं? कहाँ से आए? कहाँ जाएंगे? ये आदमी सफर कर रहा है, ये आदमी सफर नहीं कर रहा है, ये पास हो गया सिविल सर्विस, जिसको ये वे पास नहीं हुआ क्यों? You discuss. The philosophy is thinking. So when you talk about the rituals called religion, and when you go extra physical, upper look, कि हम जीवन में क्यों आए? 2 आदमी पैदा हुए हैं, ये लड़का अंधा है, ये अंधा नहीं है. Why is this suffering? Why? So that is, and what is that philosophy? How we take at this point? That we'll discuss, which is very, very important to understand. And that's part of our culture, which everybody has to know. We are not talking spiritual. See, we will talk everything from the point of view of history, change society, not from the religion, not from the point of Sanskrit. So that is way. So Vedanta is what we'll discuss. Every time there's a question Vedanta, in one form or the other, which we'll discuss. Then he again went in one topic, which is a very burning topic. That is the issue of, what is that? Who are Aryans? Very, very burning issue. We'll discuss about the origin of Aryans. Whether they are local people, they came from outside, and what is the view of most of the historians, British. So that's 15. The next period is from 600 to, देखिए हम पीरियड पढ़ रहे हैं. See, आप लोग कहते हैं हमें डेट याद नहीं. Date is not important, my boys and girls. We talk the phase, how the phases are showing change. 5-10 साल 15 साल इधर कोई इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. आजकल हम नहीं पूछते पानीपत की वार कब हुई, कलिंगा की वार कब हुई. These dates are not important. Only certain dates are important. Which dates are important? I told you which dates are important. We change the whole course of history. 1857, 1919, 1942, 1857. Those dates will come to you automatically. Don't mark any date. Dates are not important. Remember, जो आप लोग कई लोग घबराते हैं, nothing. So the next period is 600 to 400. What is the period? Anybody? What's the period of? Right. It's a period of Mahajanpadas. It's a very important topic, and you every way get a chance of question on it. When I say I put a tag here, hashtag here, that means very important. You have question has to come out. Any part, this exam, any country, any part, any examination in the country. What are Mahajanpadas? Means what was it? Means what it means? What were the political developments? अर्धवेदी में क्या डेवलपमेंट थी, लेटर में क्या हुआ, आप क्या डेवलपमेंट हुई. Now this is a period of Mahajanpadas. So we'll discuss about this period. Polity, we discuss polity, society, economy, and also basically religion. Religion is very important. Why? Tell me now. Why religion is very important? Ancient period. Religion has impact on. देखिए हम लोग हिस्ट्री के हिसाब से पढ़ेंगे क्या रिलीजन था. We are not discussing what is the religion and what is the impact on art and architecture. Every art and culture we see only religious. There is nothing called secular. So and religion is depicted in art. So where religion is there. So this is a period. What is religious changes taking place over and above. Changes हमने ancient में क्या था, later में क्या है, अब क्या change. And in the religion, what we discussed, rise of number of schools of philosophies. Two of which are very important. Buddhism. So we will discuss here broadly rise of Buddhism, Jainism. Buddhism, Jainism. Now we will ask the Buddhism क्या पढ़ेंगे हम? क्या philosophy है? ये अलग है, history अलग है, detail. Why Buddhism, Jainism developed? Why they developed in Bihar? Why in this period only? We have to answer this question. Why Buddhism became a world religion? Jainism could not become. Why? Why? Everywhere. Why is history, my dear boys? That's what I want to tell you. And we read Buddhism, Jainism, not only main features, but also impact on art, architecture, literature. Buddhist art, Jain art, unka apna literature. So we will discover everything about Buddhism, Jainism. Again, as a point of student of history. No, to get Sanskrit mein kya tha, philosophy mein kya tha, philosophy thi. We just talk about it. But basically, impact in our history, remember my words, my copyright words you give. History, in our history, religion is what? We read religion as a, mark my words, religion is a social force. Uska society में क्या असर पड़ा? अभी भी आप देख रहे religion से सारे झगड़े चले जा रहे हैं. It became a political issue. Religion is a very important factor. Religion is looked at from different people, different way. So how historian looks at religion and respect, that is it. So art and culture पढ़ने के लिए religion is important. So we will discuss what are Jainism, Buddhism, what is philosophy, what are things, what are art and architecture. Then next period is, which already gone through, I'm sure, 400 to 200 BC, of course. What is the period? Period of modern empire. Why modern empire is important? You already gone through this paper, subject, chapter, I'm sure. Why modern empire? The first largest empire in our country. The first imperial empire. Extending from where to where? Come on, somebody raise your hand. Northwest where? Come on. The place, I want to know. Frontier or general what? Which place? Yes, somebody said right this. From? Now louder. Kandahar in Afghanistan to Bangladesh. From Nepal right to South India. Karnataka, Maski. That Swangiri is from Maski. Swangiri is also but basically Maski wave. How do we know it was first empire? Of course, except the last part, Tamil area, the whole India and the Pakistan, Afghanistan with him. Last part was not there because they were very friendly with him. So they did not attack those areas. How do we know vast empire? How do we know his empire? It was so vast. We have found Ashoka's pillars over there. You can't go to anyone else's country to plant your pillar. So these from Afghanistan to Bangladesh, from Himalaya rise to Karnataka. And this is the word now is again given the word indirectly. It has coined the word. Many people have coined the word or given rise to the word term called Akhand Bharat. That this is Akhand Bharat. Afghanistan was part of it, Pakistan was part of it, everything is part of it. And they also had, with Chola period, we had conquered Sri Lanka, they also had it. Some people are Southeast Asia, that was conquered by the Cholas. So Akhand Bharat, that this is, indirectly this concept has given today, this fact has given rise to a concept called Akhand Bharat. So this was India. Of course, it's political overtones, political problems, but that I just wanted where the word Akhand Bharat has come from. So he's the first imperial empire. So we read about what is this. Then we discuss about Janani. Then we discuss about its literature. What is literature of this period? What is the most important? मैं आपको सारे हिस्ट्री बता रहा हूँ इतिहास की. आपको सब कुछ समझ आ जाएगा इसमें पढ़ने के बाद. अब map, please follow me on the board. Write every word and write what I'm saying and draw the map. Now literature. What is literature here? What is the most important literature of this period? One is what people we write in the books way. K. K is the word for Kautilya's Arthashastra. Why Kautilya's Shastra is important? Why political science people also did it? Other subject, public relations people also did it. Why? Why political science? You see the why, but what is important? It is the first book on India, the first book on statecraft, as you say. What is statecraft? How to run a state during war and peace. The first book. And it gives a theory which is relevant to today. Which is relevant to today. आप कभी सोचिए अगर आप इतनी पुराना आज भी political science लोग क्यों पढ़ते हैं? Because it has some relevance present time. But the Kautilya wrote, what is theory? What is theory? Mandate is wrong, internal administration हो गया. It's a centralization. Centralized empire. Why centralized? Why he promoted centralized political science people do not know. They would not be knowing. Who Kautilya was, they do not know. We will discuss. Why he wrote this thing, what is the context of it, which is really makes it relevant today. We will discuss. They don't. So that is why he gave a centralized rule. Why he talked the centralized rule? Anybody? Simple. Because this empire is very big. It's a vast empire. Vast empire extending from. He realized if you give power to different agencies, there may be clash of opinion, conflict of opinion. So power should be in the hands of one person. Number two, it says what? In order to maintain this, you need army. And for army, you need taxes. So he prescribes taxes on almost all the things. And indirectly, I mean, there was a question 4 years back in Banaras Hindu University, MA post-graduation paper. The examiner asked, what was the question asked? Relevance of GST in Kautilya Shastra, GST. Everybody say, what is this question? As a fact, GST is also part of there. It's a centralized rule. Every tax depending on your quality, value. So what is it that Kautilya Shastra is one of the most important political books in our country that was written in the modern period. Why it is? Because it indirectly explains to us the administrative system of the Mauryas. And Mauryas had a big empire. How to control that vast empire, that was the idea. Simple समझे? Very simple point बताओ जो आपको याद रहना चाहिए हमेशा के लिए. This and then this is a period we also have. Apart from Kautilya Shastra, we have. Apart from K, we have what? Indica. First time this period we get. Indica we get a foreign evidence written by a foreigner, a foreign material, foreign text. He was, and this is more reliable. हालांकि hero daughter ने भी लिखा है इसके बारे में, but this is more important. Why? This is more important. Indica is more important. It is Megasthenes. Why? He was personally present in Patliputra for 6 years. So what he noticed, what he saw, he narrated that. So we like to consult that book also to know the history. Halaki isme kuch shortcomings hai, we will discuss. And for the most important part of this period is, we have this period, number of, first time we get the knowledge of inscriptions. I hope you people know what is inscriptions. Inscriptions is what is inscribed on hard surface. Why it is important? Because once in a hard surface, you can't change it. You can't fit in with it. So it gives up a clear picture of the contemporary times. So Ashoka is the first person there. And remember, you must have been told, inscription, if we had no inscription, if we had no inscriptions, we would not have known anything about Ashoka's greatness. Ashoka is known as the greatest of the kings, in my opinion. Not the great guy, the greatest of the king. And why he was great? Because we come to know his achievements from his inscriptions. Inscription में question आता रहता है, उसको note कीजिए. What is the lipi, what is the thing, and where we have found. So we have inscriptions. And these inscriptions tell us about the Vashtra's empire. But these inscriptions also tell us about his policy of Dhamma. And what we call it? Again, questions are becoming. Modern empire is also very important. I'd like to get a question out of it. Dhamma, what you call? What do you call? Ashoka's Dhamma. Now listen, ek baat aap sun lijiye, most लोग confused. It's not made clear to the students. What does Dhamma mean, first of all? Let me. Who would tell me what does Dhamma mean? आप लोग जा चुके हैं, you've already gone through this chapter. I'm revisiting that. What is Dhamma? Lot of people sitting in front of me. I want the question for out there. Just sitting from that side, this side. Sorry, huh? Righteousness, right, absolutely. Sorry, huh? Way of life, model code of conduct, सब ठीक है, असली point, yeah. Sorry? Non-violence. Again, main चीज अभी आप रहे हैं. क्या कह रहे हैं? प्लीज कैन यू आप जो भैया बता दे क्या सुना है मुझे. ट्रूथ. आप सब लोग ठीक कह रहे हैं लेकिन अभी चीज नहीं पकड़े आप. असली चीज बताऊं जो नहीं पकड़ा, बिकॉज मेनी अदर इंस्टीट्यूट द टीचर आल्सो डोंट नो. आई कैन से दैट. नहीं था. हाँ बोलिए, आप पूछिए. अब सोच लीजिए एक बार, और ये हमेशा याद रखिए, किसी किताब में नहीं है, इसलिए आप कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं पढ़ते पढ़ते. Dhamma is a technical term. So this is what I'm saying. I should make very clear. Dhamma is a technical word. And what Dhamma means, it's not a dharma, but a Dhamma is a technical word. What is Dhamma? Dhamma means Buddhist principles. Buddha's principles. I hope you know. Buddha said what are principles? You know the mantra of Buddhist. Buddha's mantra, you know what is Buddha's mantra? Buddham Sharanam. Dusa. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Dhamma means Buddha's principles of non-violence teaching. You have just up carry, you are right. So what Dhamma is what Buddha taught. Ashoka Dhamma means what? How Ashoka looked at the Dhamma in the interest of his state. How Ashoka revisited the Dhamma in the interest of his state, we call it. So we have Dhamma. So Ashoka's Dhamma, how Ashoka looked at Dhamma. Is it clear to you? I'm repeating. Dhamma means Buddha's principles of non-violence, peace. ठीक आप जो सब कह रहे हैं way of life, honestly. But how Ashoka used that Dhamma in his own way to maintain the state, which is many states, many religions are there, many communities are there, keep them united. You know? One is Buddha's Dhamma and how Ashoka looked at Dhamma. That's Buddha's principles were theoretical. Ashoka's Dhamma was practical. He tried to spread the principles there. He used his inscriptions for them. Is it clear to you now? Dhamma is a technical term which means Buddhist principles. How Buddha made the principles and how Ashoka explained their principles. So we read about Ashoka Dhamma's principles. Then not Ashoka Dhamma, then also read why Ashoka Dhamma failed. Then also know why Ashoka, what is the impact of Ashoka Dhamma? What was Ashoka Dhamma? What was the result of Ashoka Dhamma? Again, this is not mentioned in many books. What is it? Why Ashoka? What is about Ashoka Dhamma? Come on. ना आप देखिए, आप ये सुनिए, आप लोग जा चुके हैं इसलिए आप समझ सकते हैं. Ashoka Dhamma means his inscription being found from all these places. With Ashoka, sent his officers to spread his Dhamma. With this, what happened? Buddhism principles also came to be spread in all these areas. Buddhism principles spread. Because he sent his Pratishikas, Yuktas and all these officers there to spread. So it began. And it was vast empire. So Ashoka's Dhamma was vast, which was spread all. Buddhism principles spread all over the country. What was the political impact of this Dhamma? अच्छा, उसके बाद बताऊंगा. So Ashoka's Dhamma with the Buddhism spreading everywhere, because vast empire, he sent his officers. He failed and not failed, that's a different aspect. So that is Ashoka. And see, Ashoka was Buddhist. He was the first person to initiate what? Art. And his art is the first evidence of art. Why is art survived? They may have been earlier art, maybe in the wood, which has not survived. Ashoka's art has survived. Why? Because it's the first time he evidence of what? Anybody? Art in stone. It has survived. And we have, and also जितने principles हैं Buddhism में, स्तूपा उसने बनवाए, क्या बनवाए, I'll discuss. When I talk about Buddhism, I'll discuss his art. How is this art? So which is Ashoka's art is basically Buddhist art. What he thought, he tried to represent that in the field of art. So modern art is basically Ashoka's Dhamma. So we discover that. And that is one thing. So that Ashoka's Dhamma, why he failed, what is the impact of it, we'll discuss. Then, another thing happened. Sorry, this is next point. Next point is 200 BC2, which is connected with that. Next period is from 200. This is very, very important, which all of you get confused. I'm trying to make it very simple and follow me on the board with a map. 200 BC 300. Draw the map. पैर बताएगी आपको सब समझ आ जाएगा. What is the period? This period is a, सुनिए इतनी बिल्कुल ध्यान से सुनिए थे. ये आप एनसीईआरटी किसी किताब पढ़ें कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे. This period was the period of, first of all, breakup of, first thing is the breakup of, उससे क्या हुआ? Breakup means now on the ashes of the modern empire, many other states came up. अगर आप एनसीईआरटी किताब पढ़ेंगे बड़े कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे. Who states came up? New people. So first time who were ruling here? New people came up here, known as Kushans. And who were ruling here now? First time earlier we were talking about only northern India. Now our focus shifts to South India for the first time. Who were ruling here? Satavahanas, right you are. We started reading about Satavahanas. And who were ruling extreme south? Who were here? Tamil kings, Tamil area. Sangam is what you call it. So this is the period marked by three important dynasties. Other than we have three important dynasties. The first time we get to know South India. See, now you can listen my dear boys and girls. When we talk about South India, ध्यान से सुनिए, आप लोग जो नॉन हिस्ट्री वाले ज्यादा कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. South India we divided into two parts. Which are two parts? Which are two parts? Upper South India and Lower South India. What is Upper South India? What is Upper South India? ये आप याद रखिए, please. What is Upper South India? This is divided. What is Upper South? ये Upper South पढ़ते रहेंगे. हम South India में दो एरिया के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. What is Upper South? Which you call Deccan. Deccan का कौन सा एरिया है? Broadly. हाँ देखिए, I told you, I don't know. If you want to know ancient period, वहाँ पे कर्नाटका, Maharashtra, ये नहीं थे. You have to know by the rivers. Everybody must know the important rivers because they are the demarcating line of the boundaries. So, यहाँ बोलिए. From then, Narmada Tapi to which place? देखिए, North Indians की बड़ी problem है इस बारे में. Say, the one is, it's very broadly from, which river is it? देखिए, बच्चे लोग South India की river जो है, ये examination interview में पूछे जा रहे हैं. This is river Krishna. And there is a very important river along the tributary of Krishna, which is that? Tungabhadra, right? Absolutely correct. So upper part is broadly. उसमें महाराष्ट्र भी आ गया, part of Bhadra भी आ गया, Karnataka भी आ गया. This. And this is called Upper South, and then beyond this is called the Tamil area. Kamini, and generally Tamil is around this river, what you call Kaveri River. This is Godavari River, and this is Kaveri. So upper south. And upper south, this period was Satvadas. Because Border Napa broke up, some local people got the power and all that. So these are three. And this is I'm talking about 200 BC to AD 300. Very important period. Now, let me discuss this period one by one. What was happening in northern India? In northern India, after the break of the modern empire, India was invaded by many foreigners. First time we get a clear attack by the outside. Who was the first proper attack? Chote exam mein shura hai. Unko chronology mein divide kijiye. Give the chronological details of the invaders of country in this period. Who was there? Come on, first one. Right you are. I'm very happy you know at least something. My God. Chalo, koi baat nahi. Repeat. देखिए नक्शा जब तक बनाएंगे मैं बनाएगा बड़ा फायदा होगा और ये आपको ज्योग्राफी भी फायदा करेगा तब भी फायदा करेगा. First was the Indo-Greeks. Who are Indo-Greeks? Who are Indo-Greeks? Indo-Greeks are those Greeks who continued to stay on our borders after Alexander had left. उनको different to main Greeks. Main Greek branch से different करने के लिए Indo-Greeks who were staying on our borders, who were left behind by Alexander. Why are they important? Why are they important? Yeah, see, they brought Greek culture right at our doors. So there was opportunity to intermix two cultures, Indo-Greek culture. We learned something for the Greeks, they learned from us. So that is intermixing Greek culture coming to us. Now, and one very important impact, we learned from the Indo-Greeks. One thing we learned, we learned making coins. हमको पहले coins बनाने नहीं आते थे. And what they learned from us? Art. And they did new art. What you call? Indo-Greek art. Gandhar. Gandhar कौन सी जगह है? Which place is Gandhar? My dear boys, correct it forever. It's not Afghanistan. Afghanistan is Kandhar. K. This is Gandhar. And Gandhar is an area which is from Takshila to Peshawar broadly. And which place is Takshila? वो नहीं पता होगा आपको. Which place is Takshila? Pakistan all right, but yes, नहीं का Asia. नहीं, Takshila yes. Which place is? Takshila is what you have called Rawalpindi or Islamabad. Closer. So that area is called broadly Takshila. And it's called North. And Gandhar is an area from where Madam Gandhari came. Mama Shri's hometown. Yeah. Mama Shri's hometown, Gandhar. So Gandhar is in India, not outside. Please, that we understand. And Takshila was the main center from this development. And where new art coming up, which you call Indo-Greek art. वो आपने पढ़ा होगा Indo-Greek art. Indo-Greek art. Because one theme is only one. Which is that? Only one theme is there. Buddha. And style is Greek, we call it Indo-Greek art, we call it Roman, Greco-Roman art, we call it Gandhar art, Spanish. So the outsiders had impact on art. Unka kitte raja the, ye lade the, we are not. So many kings are mentioned, don't talk about anyone, except one or two. So then they followed by, coming from, these were from Indo-Greeks. Otherwise coming from Central Asia, they are known as Shakas, Parthians, and ultimately Kushans. Now here Shakas, Parthians also and Shukas almost came from the same area. But we don't read much about Shakas. We don't read much about the Parthians. Why? They were overpowered by Kushans. Kushans overpowered all as this. So Kushans became the most powerful power in this period. And Kushans. And one interesting part is, all these people came from outside. But when they came to India, they became a part of Indian culture and traditions. How they became a part of Indian culture? How they became part of Indian culture? Come on. Simple, absolute question. Why they became a part of Indian culture? How? Sorry? Sanskritization, all right, no, Sanskritization is a different word. Yes, right word this way. No. Most of them became a part of Indian culture by joining Buddhism. They did not join Brahminism. Why? Mantras and all, they don't understand. Jainism is very strict. They became part of Buddhism, most of them. And with Buddhism, they were part of it. They made the matrimonial relationship, thus they became a part. So all of them gradually became a part of Indian culture. Most of them Buddhist. हालांकि Heliodorus वगैरह दूसरे भी थे, Vaishnava भी, but so they became a part of Indian culture. And when they became a part of culture, naturally, they helped Indian culture to grow. Are you understanding my? Not Brahminism, because mantras and sacrifices and all that, but not philosophy, they were not clear today. Now, among them, the most important were the Kushans. And among the Kushans, the most important king was Kanishka. And Kanishka king is always questioned every day. Why Kanishka? Kanishka, he had a vast empire. What he extended from, we say extended from Central Asia to Sarnath, they say. Sarnath sometimes say Sanchi or not. Vast. Iska vast empire kya hua? It had North India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, parts of Central Asia. It was an empire which had number of communities which intermingled with each other. So it was this one area which was a period of intermingling of various cultures. But one important thing was, Kanishka became a Buddhist. And with him, the king becomes a Buddhist. Many followers will also become Buddhist. So in this period, there was a change in Buddhism. These people coming from outside, they wanted simpler religion. Simpler religion क्या होता है? एक तो religion क्या है? अच्छे कंडक्ट करो, अच्छे काम करो, तब आपके जीवन में सफल होगे. एक है भगवान जी, हमको मदद दे दो, हमारा काम कर दो. You go via, either you work yourself or you go through God. Simplest God is क्या है? God. So the new concept came in this period in Buddhism, and Buddhism came to be divided in two parts known as, you know it, which are two parts? Yeah. They're known as Heenan and Mahayana. And Mahayana became part of religion today. This period, Mahayana became the main thing. But this was the period of rise of new form of religion. Mahayana से ऐसा क्या पड़ा? Apart from हमें philosophy से ज़्यादा मतलब नहीं है. But what is important? Mahayana से? It had impact on art, architecture, literature. And Mahayana, you must have been told that Mahayana, now they started what you call worship of Buddha in the form of idols. Idols coming up. जब idol worship हुई क्या हुआ? There was a demand for what? Idols. Idols की demand बढ़ गई. Heenan disappeared, Mahayana became important. And जब idols की demand बढ़ गई, there was need for demand. So two types of idols started making. Two types of schools of art came up. Which are two schools of? You know it? Gandhar school of art and Mathura school. आप मेरी बात समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. बच्चे लोगों अगर आपको गांधार मथुरा आप समझिए तो पहले आपको राइज ऑफ आपको किसान की एज में कनिष्क के टाइम में गांधार आर्ट क्यों डेवलप हुई? डोंट यू अंडरस्टैंड? अगर सीधे आप गांधार आर्ट पढ़ने लगेंगे आपको समझ नहीं आएगा. So you have to know गांधार आर्ट. What is Gandhar art? What is Mathura art? What are the different questions have been coming? हर examination में गांधार मथुरा आर्ट के क्वेश्चन आया. So गांधार मथुरा आर्ट coming. So and it became very important. And this is a period also growth of trade. Why? Because it was different areas right up to Silk Route. It was spread. So through Silk Route, trade developed. And trade developed क्या हुआ? First time this period we see the beginning of gold coins. And gold coins became economic prosperous. So it was economically very prosperous. Growth of Maya religion coming up, growth of art coming up. So one of the most prosperous period is the Kushan part, and that's why we generally ask a question on it. We have not to bother. ये नहीं देखिए ये नहीं कि other states नहीं थे और राज्य नहीं होते. But others are also there. But we read only about. I told you probably. We read only about those dynasties, those kings who have बहुत सारे हजारों हैं. But we read about those who have some contribution to art and culture. Otherwise, बहुत सारे में कितनी लड़ाई की, कितना मारा है, nothing. So those who have something left for the country, show the culture, heritage, we discuss about that. So that is one thing. And that is about what you call Kanishka, और ज़्यादा detail आप पढ़ेंगे. But first time we went to South India. South India we have. So we got a Sanskritization, you know, right word here. Sanskritization, I'll tell you what is Sanskritization. What is Sanskrit? All I tell you later. Who was ruling South India? Upper South, Satavahanas. Why Satavahanas is important? Not for their religious thing, only something about the administration, not much. Something political. But why important? They were Brahmanas. But they patronized the Buddhist people, Buddhist merchants. And we see the Buddhist art spreading over here. Just after मैंने बताया modern empire Buddhism spreading. And that in this period, Southern period, with the biggest stupa in South India. Which one? Biggest stupa in South India. Amravati, right? Absolutely. अब आगे वाले जो चुप रहेंगे पीछे वाले बोलेंगे. Please. आगे बैठे डिस्टर्बेंस होता है आपको भी मुझको भी. Please. Or let others speak. This is called Amravati. All right. किसने कहा था Amravati? Amravati. Amravati which river? Question history में एक बार बहुत. Which river? Which? Amravati is in Andhra and river is Krishna river. And another stupa on the same river. Very important. Of course, in ruins now. Who's that? Come on. Naga Arjuni Konda. Now dam has been and it has been shifted, but that's it. Two very important stupas in the period. Street shows the growth and expansion of Buddhism in South India only after Ashoka spreading there. Kushans and all Buddhism spreading. And then what is important here? History option is very important for the maps. They had number of rock cut caves, Buddhist rock cut caves. Where are the caves? People of Maharashtra, Nasik, Pune, Betsa, Bhaja, or Karle, the caves are there. Cave architecture developed. Rock cut cave architecture developed in this period. Ajanta cave was also made in this period. Two Ajanta caves were made in this period. So that was key. So they are part of a rock cut cave architecture. In this. Stupas and rock cut architecture. But the most important phase for examination is the extreme south. Who was running extreme south? I just told you. Who was extreme south? We call this Sangam age, Sangam period. Why we call this Sangam period? I'm sure you know. What is Sangam period? Sangam means meeting together. Meeting together of different poets and poetesses coming from this area. And they wrote what? They wrote poems. And the poems of different nature. Love, romance, landscape, agriculture, social life. And when we study those things, we take out the historical parts, historical bits, and we assimilate them, and that we call Sangam period. Sangam period is a period of this period, or you see period mein hai. Contemporary of this period, remember, not separate, contemporary. And why Sangam period is important? Because the first time we get the literature written in Tamil. All this written literature of South India in Tamil we get it. And that is called Tamil culture. So this is the period of Sangam literature. And those were the three important dynasties. Not dynasties, they were tribal people. Well, they became dynasties later on. Who were the people ruling? This side is? Who are the ruling this side? This side is Cholas. Cholas. Please, my North Indian friends, don't pronounce the Chola. They are not Cholas. The Cholas. And this side we have Cheras. And in between we have Pandyas. These are three dynasties they were ruling. Pandyas very popular in this period, but later on, Cholas became very important. Later on, after 10th century. We have two Cholas are there. Remember, don't get confused. Most of you do it. One Chola we call them Sangam Chola. Later Chola is called Imperial Cholas. Because they have the Sangam Cholas were smaller people. Imperial people, who were the Imperial Cholas? They had conquered almost whole South India. Very powerful whole South, almost. And they have, Imperial Cholas had conquered Ceylon, Sri Lanka, North East. So they were not almost South India, but large part of, they were most important power in South India. Cholas, later on. So that is what we Sangam period. Now, what, see, I don't know whether I told you or not. Sangam period, from your point of view, is, for number one, I told you, it is the first written literature in Tamil. The first time we get the history of South India. But what is important here? We call it Sangam period. But as a student of history, Sangam does not mean for me meeting of poets. For me, Sangam means meeting of two cultures. What are two cultures? I call them not Aryan Dravidian people say. I say Sanskrit culture and Tamil culture. I told you this is very important. Two cultures. And that you were the Sanskritization. What is Sanskritization? What do you mean? आप लोग sexually Sanskritization पढ़ते हैं, but they do not know the real meaning. What is Sanskritization? Huh? Sanskritization. Come on. Sanskritization means Sanskrit culture. मतलब क्या हुआ? Role of Brahmanas, role of Sanskrit, role of Havan, and the Varna Shastram. So Sanskritization means basically Brahmanism. Sanskritization means the language, culture of the Brahmins. Sanskrit culture is not only Sanskrit, it's a new word for, instead of calling Brahmanism, we call it Sanskrit. So we have caste system going there, Varna system going there, ceremony, sacrifice going there. That's, as Sanskrit means, it was a mixture of two. Sanskritization and Tamil culture. So Sanskritization indirectly means the spread of, and I say spread of Brahminical ideas. And they begin. So they also, so this is a song of two cultures, Aryan culture, Dravidian culture, no Sanskrit and Tamil culture. And I told you earlier also, it's a very, very important part of our examination, and everybody must do. North India have no idea what is this, is sad, but you have to know about this. So that is what. So earliest history of South India comes from literary history, comes from Sanskrit. So this period is very important. I'm repeating. Earlier, our emphasis was only northern India. Now, after the break of the modern empire, other areas also come into focus. The sea is changing, spreading. Next period is from 300 to 550 AD. 550 AD. What is it? 300 to 550 AD. Of course, AD. This is a period which was marked by, yes, we call it Gupta period. दूसरी dynasty थी, वो थी, but I told you, we study those things which have some historical contribution to make. Along with the Guptas, एक word आप किताब में पढ़ते हैं, confused हो जाते हैं. Along with the Guptas, this small dynasty, उसका नाम ऐसे आगे बीच में. Which dynasty? Come on. They were ruling Deccan area, upper part of Deccan area. Known as, come on. Waka. Waka is not very important for us, but they became important because why? Why Waka is important? Wakatas are important because they became a part of matrimonial, they had matrimonial relationship with the Guptas. So uske बीच में ये भी आ गए. And Wakata is the area which had Ajanta Ellora. So uske वजह से Ajanta Ellora became important. But most important are the Guptas. And Guptas is the most important period. And we read about this. We will little about very small way we'll discuss about this polity, very society, economy. But most important thing will be is religion. I'm repeating, my dear boys, religion is important because not as a religion, but because its connection with art, architecture, literature. But आप जो सोचते हो art में आया है. Because all art architecture in ancient period was basically religious in nature. There is hardly any secular. So religion. And religion is a great change. History सारी change हो गई जो आपको किसी किताब में नहीं मिली. मैं short में आपको समझाने की कोशिश करूँगा. Why up to Gupta period क्या हुआ? हमारी history started with Vedic period. 1500 BC से. Now we have come to 500 AD, 2000 years. 2000 में क्या हुआ? Brahminical culture was spreading in different parts of the country. Also, local units, they also were covered now. So new religion came up this period, which adjusted with other religion. It was not only Brahmanism, new religion came up now, so that everything will be united. And that is the contribution of Brahmana class. It's a brainchild of the Brahmana. What you call unity in diversity. They try to encompass everybody. That part, sort of religious unity came up. Early religion, देखिए ध्यान से सुनिए, अगर आप लिख सकते हैं समझने की कोशिश कर सकते हैं. Early religion we have country. First of all, देखिए आप, whole culture is spreading from North India, the whole India is covered. And India is the country which has many, many communities, many religious, many ethnic societies are there. So what happened? Now Buddhism, what you call? Change coming up. Early religion we had in our country, Vedic religion. What do you call it? Vedic religion? What is Vedic religion? Vedic religion means Brahmanism. What is Brahmanism? I told you, where Brahmins are the main class, Sanskrit is important, Brahminical literature is important. That's called Brahmanism. Some books called Hinduism. I don't use the word Hinduism. It's a Brahmanism. Brahmanism means based on Sanskrit and sacrifices to be done and dominated by Brahmanism class. This period अब सब जा गए, सबको कैसे चलेंगे? या तो दूसरे रिलीजन को आप दबाएं. Our culture has not been to convert anybody or suppress anybody. Our system has been of adjusting. Our culture has been of synthesis. That's why we have survived. New religion came in Gupta period, including all of them. New religion came out known as anybody. Come on. And student history, sociology, you know. With sociology, mein pata nahi aap log padhte nahi. New literature came in this period. What you call? New literature, what you call? Puran. And it was a new religion. And what is new religion coming now? What do you call it? Puranic religion. What is Puranic religion? Again, some people are Hinduism. No. Puran. What is Puranic religion? Worship, it's based on basically worship of God. Worship of God. And one God became very important, which is the worship? Vishnu. Vishnu was the umbrella. And with Vishnu had number of avatar. Avatar was coming up. This period. This is the concept of the avatar was system. And Vishnu became the main king. And why? How to worship him? I mean, why do you worship God? Why do we worship God? We want to fulfill our wishes. That's so that is so we how do you fulfill wishes in Vedas? How to fulfill your wishes? Mantras, killing animals. Here you say you can fulfill mantras are not required because many people don't understand mantras. Sacrifice is not important. How you worship? Simpler forms, which we do today, which later on became Hinduism. How that? How? First of all, why? Just you want to get civil services, no problem, no bakras required. Only go to Ganga, have a dubki 5 times. Hey Bhagwan, eyes dilade, and your sins will be washed off. When you take a bath, this will be washed off. And जो आदमी नीचे नहा रहा है उसके पास sin चढ़ जाए, no problem. Your sins are washed. आपके सारे पाप धुल जाएगी सब गंगा में. आप व्रत करिए, मंगल का व्रत कीजिए, बृहस्पति का व्रत कीजिए, आपका काम हो जाए. Simpler religion, high understanding. मैं मजाक में कह रहा हूँ. Now religion came from elite class to masses. Common man can understand. So this is the beginning of idol worship coming. And for the first time, this is the beginning of temple architecture. First time, there were no temples, and the first time temple architecture came in this period. Which is earliest temple made? Who made the first temple? Earliest temple is a temple dedicated to Vishnu, made by Chandragupta II at Sanchi. Not Devgarh and other thing coming out. Sanchi is the temple architecture came up, which had the images of Vishnu. And that's the beginning of temple. And your teacher must have told you the 3 types of temple architecture. North Indian type, Vesta type, South Indian type. Now, when the temple architecture came, after it started growing, Gupta, and let me tell you, temples are basically same inside. Only outside, they are different. What is Garbh, what is Mandap there. And I request all my friends, when you go to a temple, Bhagwan se puja karne ke liye, also we go there not only devotee but also as a student of art. आप बाहर खड़े होकर देखिए, you will get the same thing which we are telling in the class. But the same things. What is Garbh, what is Mandap, what is that, we will find. So 3 types. So this is the beginning of temple architecture. This is also beginning of the worship of Hindu gods and goddesses coming up. And very important thing this period is actually assimilation. This period, because many people in our country are not only male gods, they are female goddess worshippers also. They are female goddess. सारी the female goddess and tribal people में. I hope you know. आप हिमाचल में देख लीजिए, चंडीगढ़ में चंडी देवी देख लीजिए, शीतला देवी देख लीजिए, any देवी, कामाख्या देवी, some. What they did, our Brahmanic class, they joined them together. This way, God, apart from the male, male worship नहीं है. According to male, female worship also came to be worshipped. It was a place of unity in religious concepts. Gupta period was a period of religious unity. And उसका एक देते हम लोग क्या देते? One very important figure we get, Ardhanarishwara. What is Ardhanarishwara? Half male. That means we are worship. So this is the country assimilation of religious facts, sects of the. So that is a very important thing. So I'm repeating my very simple. ध्यान से सुनिए 1500 BC में Vedas were written. Now we are going to 500 AD, 2000 years. Brahmin culture has spread everywhere. So there is some opposition also and all. But this is a period of unity in diversity. Religious unity came up. इसलिए हमारे हिंदुइज्म में क्या है? Every Hindu worship. What is Hinduism? Hinduism is not a religion. Everybody, and you can worship any god. All of them part of it. So that is what is we have. So this is the period of temple coming up, simpler religion coming up. Ladies also were allowed to get the benefit. Usme ladies nahi tha, ladies also. So there's something. So this is a change of social religion. But Gupta period is important. And then Gupta period में एक चीज और हुआ. So अभी संस्कृत आपने देखा अशोक के जो inscription थे वो किस लैंग्वेज से? किस लैंग्वेज से अशोक के inscription? प्राकृत में, संस्कृत में नहीं थे. Why? Because Sanskrit was not popular at that time. He wanted his best to reach everybody. Now Sanskrit became a common language. And that's why we see the Sanskrit growth of Sanskrit literature. Kalidas, Aryabhat, all this new literature coming. So this is a period of art, architecture, literature. The Gupta period, I'm repeating, last sentence. Whatever changes were taking from the Vedic period, they reached the final stage in the Gupta period. So this is how history has been changed. That's the Gupta period. Now, then after Gupta period, what happened? What is Gupta period? After period is 550 to 750. What is this period? In this period, Northern India, again 3 parts were there ruling. Who was ruling in Northern India? Harsh. Only one king is mentioned. Who was ruling Deccan? Who was ruling Deccan? Somebody tell me now. यही आप लोग कंफ्यूज होते हैं इस पीरियड को ध्यान से सुनिए. This period, a new period called Chalukyas. And who were ruling extreme south? Say, please correct yourself. Pallavas, not anybody. Only Pallavas were ruling here. Pallavas. Now this is यही कंफ्यूजन कर रहे हैं आप लोग, उसी को मैं इसे समझा रहा हूँ. Please note it down. जो आपके दिमाग में कहीं इसमें गलतफहमी वो चला रहा हूँ. Pallavas. See, so this is the period marked by 3 distinct areas. Now about Harshvardhan. At one time, Harshvardhan was considered as a very important king, but today we don't give any bhav to him. Why? Why? He has nothing to contribute to art and culture. He was a weak king. He was defeated by many kings. His army became weak. Administration became weak. Nothing important. So we don't read. हालांकि state services में इसके बारे में पढ़ते हैं वो लोग पुरानी किताबों के हिसाब से. Only one thing is important about him. His rule was visited. His reign was visited by one Chinese traveler. His name was Hyun Sang. And he left a big account him. So कई लोग उसके अकाउंट को पढ़ के उसको बहुत बड़ा राजा कहते हैं. But if we say look it deeply, nothing much to contribute. एक चीज के बारे में which Hyun Sang says that this man patronized and promoted
Buddhism. Indian form of
आप बाद में बोलेंगे, डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं मुझको. जब पूछूंगा तब बताएगा. अबे आगे नहीं बोलिए. आपको पता है तो दोनों को बोलने थी. जब मैं पूछता हूं लोगों से पूछा अगर आपको पता है जी, I'm open to the people who don't. I want them to give it time to think. Okay? आप डिस्टर्ब करते हैं इसको भी मुझको भी. और जब होगा पूछूंगा, जब मैं भूल जाऊंगा ना तब मुझे नहीं आता होगा आपसे पूछूंगा ना. Only one thing is mentioned, which he patronized and promoted Nalanda University. It is said that he gave large amount of dan, villages for its maintenance. That's. Some people say Hyun Sang also refers to Kumbh Mela, but that is not very clear. Actually, what Hyun Sang says that Harshvardhan used to go to Prayag, Allahabad every 5 years. I used to give charity. So people say indirectly he's referring to Kumbh, but anyway, it's not Kumbh. But question came a long time state service. Does he refer to Kumbh? Yes, in that case, if you say. But otherwise, but nothing much about it. So he is not very important king further. But yes, Nalanda University was flourishing in this period, that's one thing. Who built Nalanda University? The book, again, आप भी चुप रहिए, दूसरों को बोल दीजिए. एकदम आप देखिए, जैसे क्लास में हिस्ट्री वाले भी हैं, नॉन हिस्ट्री वाले भी हैं. अगर आपको आता तो चुप रहिए, इसको आपको कंफर्म करिए. आप बोल के दूसरों को डिस्टर्ब करते हैं, मेरे को भी करते हैं. आप throwing this question to the people who do not know, ask them to think. Okay, you also. आगे बैठ के नहीं, आप पीछे बैठ के बोलिएगा नहीं तो मुझे. That this is something. Because you create a nonsense here. Because दूसरे पेपर दिक्कत होती है. So हिस्ट्री स्टूडेंट है, ऐसे भी 3 बार फेल होके आ भी चुके, 4 बार फेल होके आ चुके, तो इसलिए आप don't expose yourself. Nalanda University. And it is said, well, I don't agree, but the book says it was founded by one king called Gupta period king, Kumar Gupta I. I don't agree. मैं क्यों agree नहीं करता हूँ? Why it has been declared it was a book? Because we have found Kumar Gupta coins found है. हमने खुदाई में उसके coins मिले. ये तो कोई logic नहीं हुआ. In my opinion, Nalanda University was a Buddhist university, Mahayana University. It must have been built by somebody who was Buddhist. Kumar Gupta was not a Buddhist. But there's 2 kings called Buddha Gupta. There was the other 3. They might have built. But your book says Kumar Gupta, then we go with that. So anyway, so he promoted. That's only much good. एक दो किताबें भी उसने लिखी हैं, कहते हैं हर्षवर्धन ने, 2 or 3 books, कई छोटे एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन है. But he wrote the books. But I can say he wrote the books, I might have bought them. He wrote them and bought them, I don't know idea. Buying, समझे? पता किससे लिखवा दिया, अपना नाम लिखवा दिया. So anyway, not much. But whole glory and culture was going in South India, very, very important. Got a question out of it. You will get a question. Most important was Chalukyas. Why Chalukya is important? Now you can ask me. Now you can tell me why Chalukya is important. Why Chalukya is important here, South India? Come on. These were the people who promoted a type of architecture we call Vesra architecture. There were 3 types of architecture. I hope you know. You have Northern Indian, Shikhar type, Dravid type, and this North Indian tradition pushing southward, South Indian pushing northward, emitting it, Karnataka. So that the Vesra type of architecture developed in Karnataka. And one question, since there's one temple which is a World Heritage Site, and it is a Vesra type of architecture. Most important Vesra type of architecture which is a World Heritage Site, this period. Now my prompt is there. Yes, which one? Kailash temple is not here, this one is not Vesra type. Vesra type is people from Andhra, Karnataka. It's no doubt it's important. What is it? Pattadakal. So one heritage site temple built by the Chalukya, and it is a Vesra type of art. It's an example of Vesra type. I told you, I don't have to talk about the Vesra. You understand Vesra? All of you? Vesra, you know that? Yes or no? Come on, if I can repeat in 2 minutes otherwise. Yeah, yes or no? Oh, you know it. You know, yes or no? You know it or don't know it? No. Don't know. See, we have 3 types of architecture. From North Indian, South Indian, I told you inside the same. What is the North Indian type? A teacher ne bataya hoga, I don't know. One is called Nagara type of temple. Nagara. Other is called Dravida type. And third is called Vesra, Vesar. Nagara is a North Indian type. One is North Indian type. But I'm telling you inside the same. This is a temple, and it is like a shikhar, like that. And then you have a pillar over here, and then that's called, it is called shikhar. And it is a gateway. Gateway is known as, anybody, my prompters. तोरण. याद देखिए, ये बच्चे लोगों को यही मैं बता रहा हूँ, ये जो नोट कीजिए कि यही मुझे पता आप लोग कंफ्यूज करते हो, उसको अंडरलाइन कर लो, चाहे निशान लगाओ चाहे रेड में लो. एंड गेटवे इज कॉल्ड तोरण, TORA. सिंपल. एंड इट्स लाइक बहुत बढ़िया पिलर लगा के मगरमच्छ स्टाइल में बना रखा. व्हाट इज द्रविड़ टाइप टेंपल? इट इज लाइक दैट. And it has got what? It's called here, we call it Viman. And this gateway is called, what is gateway here? What is gateway here? What is gateway? Gateway is the replica of the main building. वो भी ऐसे ही बना हुआ है, वो उससे की शॉर्ट में बना हुआ है. And through here to go. And that's called Gopuram. My problem is कि आप सब लोग confused हो जाते हैं खास नॉर्थ इंडियन, उनको पता नहीं what is Gopuram. They विमान और गोपुरम में confused हो जाते हैं. So I found a way out for you. Gopuram is the gate through which go. It means gate. Gateway through which you go is a gateway, gate, door. Because many North Indian I've noticed, Gopuram विमान में क्या है they forget. The questions have been coming. And Gopuram की beauty ये है कि अब वो उसी का replica है. So that will teach you. And this is the mixed side. So that is called three types of train. Starting in Gupta period now. South India Chalukyas and extreme south. Who were ruling in this period? Extreme south, very, very, very important. You'd like to get a question out of it. Who is the period 750 who have? We call them? Who were ruling same? Come on. This is the what you call Pallavas. Not Chola, not बच्चे लोगों जो भूल जाते हैं याद रखिए ये बहुत important because North India में normal problem भी है. इसी के लिए मैं ये सब बता रहा हूँ. South India, Tamil area was controlled by people called Pallavas. And that's one of the brightest periods of South Indian history. And why Pallavas is important? Not political history. They are important for their art and architecture. And questions have been repeatedly come in one form or the other. Means में भी आ सकता है, इसमें भी आता है. Question, which is the most important art and architecture site of the Pallava period. Most important phase was the town of the Pallavas. Mahabalipuram, yaad rakhiye. Very important question in history optional also Mahabalipuram. So it is the most important center of Pallava art and architecture. इसको जरूर पढ़ेंगे हर हालत में. You can have a question on it. Mahabalipuram. What is Mahabalipuram? What is art and architecture here? Importance. History option में 10 number का question आया Mahabalipuram सिर्फ. So हम Mahabalipuram. So the art and architecture. And why are they important Pallavas? They promoted in South India Dravidian type of architecture. They promoted Dravidian architecture. So आप देख रहे हैं post Gupta period में of North Indian temple, Vista type temple, and now Dravida type of temple they were going. And Mahabalipuram. And why Mahabalipuram is important? You'll be surprised to know. According to a tourist report, the report of tourism of India report, Mahabalipuram was the most frequented site by the foreign tourists other than Agra. In place of Agra, the most frequented place visited by foreigners was Mahabalipuram according to tourist report. Report of tourism department. So that means you understand. I'm repeating. Agra was not this year, was the most frequented site. It was a Mahabalipuram. So that is what basically current affairs question may be and can be part of it. Then this is the period very important. North India, they have no idea. This period they also had with the temples coming in. This period also we have Bhakti saints who wrote Bhakti song. Bhakti song ka matlab devotion bhajan. And the two types of Bhakti groups are here. Which are two groups? What two groups? Come on now, prompters can answer this question. Yeah, Alvars and Nainas. They're very, very important, my dear boys, those who have not heard of them. And who are Alvars? They were the followers of Vishnu. And they were followers of Shiva. So they wrote mantra of songs in honor of their respective gods. And what is important? What is Bhakti became important? Why Bhakti is important from other thing, other Brahmanic religion? Come on. Apart from rituals, what? Brahmins were using Sanskrit. And all Bhakti songs are in common language. जिसको आप समझ सकते हैं, आप संस्कृत में समझ कि जो कह देते हो यूज कॉमन लैंग्वेज. That means bringing religion from elite class to local level. It is common to everyone. Other things were there. So that is, so they were written and their literature was written in Tamil. Now up to here, mandir is there, images are there, music is there. Then the bhajans are there. Then they will go down music in South India. When music is there, dance is there, dance is also come. So this is a place of growth of cultural activity in the temple. All our dances, music and all, they develop basically in the temples. So here may be beginning of the And it is said, even Devdasi system, it said Devdasi system had a beginning here. So South India, very important growth from the point of culture, very important for the cultural point of view. So Pallavas question is very important. And they are not Cholas. Okay, very clear? The period note kar dijiye, 550, 750. Next period is 750 to 1000. What is this period? 3 dynasties ruling. आप एक मिनट सज जाएंगे जो मैं आपको बता रहा हूं. Who were ruling in northern India? They were Rajputs, known as Pratiharas. Who were ruling in South India? Rajputas. आप सब जा चुके हैं इसलिए, लेकिन आप क्विक रिपीट कह देना क्योंकि आप अभी भी नहीं समझ पाए, अभी भी कंफ्यूज है. Who were ruling in Eastern India? Palas. 3 important areas. Separately आप लिखते रहेंगे, मैं बनाते रहेंगे, समझ जाएगा. And this period was marked by the conflict between these three states. They were fighting. And fight went on for 200 years without any final success to anybody. So we are not reading anything about this period. No king, nothing, we are not bothered. But question, why were they fighting for? What were they fighting for?
Kannauj.
This, your book say Kannauj. But I say Indo-Gangetic Dawaf. Kannauj was the main center that they were Indo-Gangetic. And they continued without any final victory to anybody. But among them, the most important are Palas. Why Palas important? Why Palas important? Anybody? No, by prompters. Why Palas important? No, but what? What Palas are important? But that's not why are they important. मैंने बताया architecture everything is subservient to your religion. These were the people followed new religion, which is not yin yang behind you. Come in. New religion, Buddhism came up, known as Vajrayan. Absolutely right. Vajrayan. What is Vajrayan? Vajrayan is they call tantric religion. Tantric, not tantra, but tantric. Tantric here means it's believed in yogic practices, controlling yogas, siddhi. The yogi, their tantra, Vajrayan. And Vajrayan religion developed in Israel. And one part of Vajrayan is what? अब आप समझिए हिंदुस्तान के रिलीजन क्या है, इतनी बढ़िया रिलीजन है, इतने तरीके से है, आप बता नहीं सकता. What is Vajrayan? What is the main feature of Vajrayan? Now tell me. What is the most important feature of Vajrayan religion, which was not Hindu and Mayan? It is tantric religion, yogic. Tantric means yogic practices. What is important? Here, very important thing is they, along with the Buddha, came to the worship of female. Female coming up to be worshipped. Buddha cannot be worshipped on Tara. Which is not new feature question has come long time. Which is the female goddess included in the Vajrayan religion, known as Tara. Tara is what? New concept के Vajrayan में, जिसको आप तांत्रिक कहते हैं. Vajrayan में, in this tantras में, female is very important. Why female is very important? Why female is very important in religion, our culture, religion? Why female is very important? Woman is considered as a Shakti. The Shakti of the Purush. So that is, so he included women. There was those, in Gupta period also many females had come up, but now here Tara was the most important. And this religion developed in Northeast India. Why? Why? Not Jhani place में नहीं हुआ, Northeast में क्या हुआ? Why Eastern part? Palas were ruling which area? Bihar and Eastern part, Northeast part they were ruling. Why Vajrayan developed in Northeast? Now पूछिए आप. You have to answer. Why Vajrayan developed here, not in Central India, not in North India, nor South India? Why? Because simple here, Northeast part is an area which is dominated by the worship of North India is worship of Northeast Devi worship. Mostly Kali Devi, Kamakhya Devi. When Buddhist is there, people will say, no, don't worship. Please get out from here. We can entertain Buddha only when you also worship. You also worship female with us. So female worship came to be known as, and that area came to be the Tara. So Tara, so that means this is the inclusion of local area with the broad area. There, after sociology में पढ़ते हैं एक word. So history, little tradition and great tradition. पढ़ा आपने? Redcliffe Brown का theory, Redcliffe means जो बड़ी tradition होती है वो छोटी tradition को मिला लेती है. तो इसलिए हमारा जो कंट्री जो धर्म है सब छोटी धर्मों को मिला के बना हुआ. कोई single धर्म नहीं, सब is inclusive everything. हम धर्म को हमने कर लिया है. We are always open to every religious idea. That is the beauty of our culture. Every new thing that we can accept. I hope you know. One of the latest God we have worship included Hindu pantheon, जो किसी पुराण में किसी वेदों में नहीं. कौन से? One God we included now. Accept it. Without doing everything. What is it? Sai Baba. Sai Baba, one God we see. Anybody worshiping, accept. ठीक है, हम accepted it. So we are accepting God. And that is our strength. That's why we have survived. And that is no other country the world has. No religion the world has. Are you understanding this strength? So Northeast में Tala worship came up, Yogi practice came up, and then new university was founded for it. Nalanda was a Maya university. Now we have Vikramshila University, founded by Dharampal. And through Vikram University, why Vikramshila University important? From here, this Vajrayan concept reached Sikkim, Tibet, Bhutan, everywhere. So that is the spread of Buddhism in this period in the eastern part. So this is called what you call Palas. Next period is 1000, 1200. Here what happens, I'm not going to tell you what happens here. What is happening here? Northern India was having foreigners attacking. Mahmud Ghaznavi, Muhammad Gauri. Northern India was having a number of Rajput states, all the fighting with themselves. Without being aware of the danger coming on the northwest. And they were defeated. Ultimately, the foreigners had an easy cakewalk. And it led to the rise of what? Delhi Sultanate. So this was followed by period from Northern India, 1200 to 1536. What is it? Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate means Delhi is the capital and kings were called sultans. Now, listen to me. This is the period North India was facing the attacks from outside. South India, comparatively peaceful. Because South India free from attacks from Northeast. And there we have the most important, brightest period of South Indian history. What they? Who was the most powerful power in South India? In this period, I'm talking the first period. We have the Cholas. Right. And most important period from the point of view examination, where the history optional and this is the question get it. You have to read. And their contribution to art, architecture, literature. Best temples in Dravida style. Most important temple is, come on, Brihadishwar temple, which is a World Heritage Site, which of course some beautiful things there. I'm not going into detail about it. Big is called, repeatedly come, छोटे बड़े सब examination में question आया है. Brihad Ishwar. Brihad means big, Sanskrit, and big means Mahadeva. CDS में question आया. Videshwar, which is the god worshipped Videshwar temple? It is Shiva. And Shiva is worshipped not in the form of image, but in the form of linga. And very important. इस आर्ट राष्ट्रीय पढ़ेंगे तो ताजिब हो जाएगा. Those periods when there were no modern gadgets, instruments, and they made it such a beautiful temple. So the art and architecture. They were also very powerful. Why are they powerful? They had the first people having navy. With the help of a navy, it is said they conquered Sri Lanka and also Southeast Asia. And again, remember my guys, listen, देखिए हिंदुस्तान की culture. We conquered those areas not to convert them to our ideas. Why they were fought with them? Why they were fight with Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia? Because they were hampering the trade activity. They were the source of nuisance in trade, not with the idea to conquer that area. That's what we tell you. But they show their power. You know, क्या कहते हैं? East Coast को क्या कहते हैं? What do you call Eastern Coast? What is known as? Coromandel Coast. Coromandel is the distorted form of Cholas. Chola Mandalam. You can understand how important it is. So we have to read about Cholas. So that is administration, is assembly system, is society. आपको पढ़ना है. So that is about the Chola. So I understand my point. Northern India India is being attacked by the outsiders and foreigners gaining ground over there. South India, we are best of the architecture. And Northern India also. Earlier, we students, we used to think 1,200 dark period. Case lie hota raha, khoon hota raha, kuch bhi nahi hai. No, today we realize what? In Northern India, fights are going on, but at the same time, cultural activity is also going on. Wars are going on, but cultural activities did not stop. And the two examples, the best temples in Nagara style, in Northern India. What heritage sites? Which are they? Bit in this period. Question me coming again and again. First is what you call, yes, Khajuraho temple. What heritage site? Other is, come on, my prompt is this right. Haan bolo. Come on. So आधा मत बोलो, सब सोच के बोले, repeat. Other is Konark temple. His dedicated son. Two most important temple heritage sites between this period. आप समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? हम लड़ाई पढ़ते रहेंगे तो इतिहास नहीं, लेकिन उसके पीछे look, खजुराहो टेम्पल बन रहे हूँ, चंदेला किंग्स, चंदेला सबसे छोटे राजा, सबने मारा पिटा उनको. Nobody. But even so, what in the background of war, अगर war पढ़ना चाहेंगे तो ये dark period है. But it is a cultural activity. आप याद रखिए बच्चे लोगों, where temple is also at this moment connected with not only worship, temple is also place of, my dear boy, temple is also place of cultural activity, dance, drama, music. जितनी हमारे dances, they all started in temples. Dasiyattam is the Bharatanatyam. So they Dasiyattam. So culture. Temple is not only temple, it's a very important economic role to play, very important social religious role to play. And these were temples. So we have temples, I'm repeating, 1200 is a period, a dark period politically speaking, but at the same time cultural activity is going on, and two very important temples which have been asked again and again. And South India, we have the Cholas. Now, 1256. What is the 1250? Why is it important? Next period is basically 1526. Why it is important? अब सारा इंडिया पढ़ रहे हैं, पहले हम छोटा पढ़ा था, सारा इंडिया we are reading. What is it? Something? That is substance there. And what we do today, being a new architecture coming up. Which is Indo-Islamic. Not Islamic, my dear teacher will tell you. Why not what Indo-Islamic? It is Islamic mosque are there, but it also contains many Indian features. Our mosques are different from the mosques in the other part of the world. So we have what you call first of all new architecture coming up, and this period also we have growth of music coming up. And very important person here is Amir Khusro. We deal about the history of contribution of Amir Khusro. What is they have been asking? Culture पढ़ रहे हैं, लड़ाई नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं हम लोग. Khusro, he was the music, Hindustani music, tabla bla, जो आपने पढ़ाई पर से. That's Khusro, Amir Khusro. And this is the period, apart from that, this is the period of course, the fights were going on and they were gaining ground. But most important period is this period, most important, the question has to come. What is the most important phase of the feature of this period? Can anybody tell me now? My prompters. 15, yes. हाथ करा के हाँ बोलिए, आप बोल रहे हैं? जोर से? Sorry, जोर से बोलिए. Now, आपको देखिए यही तो लक्ष्य में आपको अपने पढ़ना चाहिए आपको कि हम लोगों को इतना बड़े इतिहास में क्या पढ़ना है सिलेबस के हिसाब से. हमें देखना है इसी ये हर सिलेबस अलग है, लेकिन सिलेबस में पढ़ना है. वी आर टॉकिंग नॉट अबाउट द पॉलिटिकल अदर थिंग, वी आर टॉकिंग ओनली ऑफ कल्चर हिस्ट्री. कल्चर में आपको मैंने बताया था कल्चर क्या है. व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, दिस इज द पीरियड ऑफ भक्ति एंड सूफी मूवमेंट. बाउंड टू गेट अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ भक्ति. नोट कर दीजिए आप, नोट कीजिए, नहीं लिखना आप याद रखिए, इसमें आप भूल गए. अब आपको सब आता है लेकिन जिन्हें याद है उसको नोट कीजिए. Bhakti Sufi movement, you're bound to question what is Bhakti Sufi movement. Question can be contribution of Raidas, contribution of Nanak Sahib, Kabir Khan. How it is different one thing? Bhakti Sufi you are doing. And that is a period from, you can say from 14th century to 16th century. So 14th to 16th century. जो नॉर्थ इंडिया में ये हो रहा है, नॉर्थ साउथ इंडिया में क्या हुआ 1256 के बीच में. South India also, many small dynasties were there with this period, which were later on conquered by Alauddin Khilji. Who were ruling in Maharashtra? My prompters. Who were ruling? Yadavas. Yadavas of Devagiri. Who were ruling in Andhra? यही चप्पल, यही आप जल्दी बोलेंगे, गलती करेंगे, नोट करेंगे. Yes. What are they? Kakatiyas. Who were ruling in Karnataka? Hoysalas. Very important for the point of view. Anyway, Hoysalas. But. Most important empire this period where question is bound to come is in the Karnataka area, conquering almost whole of India. Who are they? They call Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar. And the Vijay Empire. They are from 14th to 16th century. Date I'm not going on. Otherwise, date you want to know? 1335 to, you can say, 1565. Most important. And here, आपको सारे पढ़ने की बहुत बड़ी empire है. We have to study only what? Mainly what? Krishna Dev Rai and his contribution to art and architecture. Not the brief. Krishna Dev Rai and his art and architecture. You're bound to get a question out of it. So आप देख रहे हैं नॉर्थ में क्या हो रहा है, साउथ में क्या हो रहा है. अगर आपके पिक्चर क्लियर है, वो रैपिंग नहीं होगी आपके पास. So this is what is happening. So this is what the period. Next period is from 1526 to, आपने याद ख्याल किया इसमें भक्ति सूफी में ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है एंड विजयनगर इंपॉर्टेंट है. बाकी जो पढ़नी चाहिए पढ़ना चाहते हैं आपकी मर्जी. हिस्ट्री ऑप्शन में अलग क्वेश्चन है, मैं आपको जीएस के हिसाब से बता रहा हूँ. Economic condition of Alauddin Khilji and all that, Mahabani Tughlaq and all that's different. 1526 to, next period is from 1561 to my prompters. So my prompters, जो prompter का क्वेश्चन क्यों नहीं पूछूंगा ना आप, ताकि कुछ नहीं है, ताकि I call it from 61, 1753. Many books say up to 1707. I don't agree. Why? Historians don't agree. Because 1707 marks the death of God. But that doesn't mark the end of Mughal rule. And they later on Mughals continued, they called later Mughals. But at this same time, after the death of Aurangzeb, a new power was emerging from Maharashtra, which is that Marathas. So there were three powers: Marathas, Mughals, and third party was looking at from the back, which is that British. Three powers were there, contending for power. And what happened in 1761 war? Two important powers were rooted. They were rooted. Marathas were lost, destroyed completely power. And of course the Mughals also lost. So there was only path open for British. So that marks the beginning of, that marks the beginning of British rule, East India Company. Veer Peshwa is also important question have been coming, but it's about GS mains में ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं. Peshwa certain questions are more important about this thing. Shivaji is also important, but basically they lost. And the path was, are you getting my point? There were three powers after 1767 who quietly entering into our area. Marathas coming up there, Mughals were there, British, ultimately two were eliminated. Path was open for the third one. So whether Plassey war, Buxar war, whatever, but broadly 1761 marks the point. And next, that 1761, I don't know what is it. So that marks the beginning. So 70s, that marks the beginning of East India Company. And East India Company was a private company, all that you have to know about, not much. How it expanded. Whatever Cornwallis settlement, revenue policy, Wellesley, Dalhousie. But next period is most important. And you read every word of it. What the period is? Period from 1858 to 1947. Very, very important period. You have to read everything. And I said, your teacher would tell you, this is field, not my field, not my domain. But when and please first read about, I said, very, very important. I'm again saying, why is this very important? Why is it very important? Now listen to it. It's very important, my dear boys and girls, because it covers three other subjects. Political science, relations, and all where you have to go through it. That is very important. Constitution history, all is here. Yeah, 90% question in your stream will come only from this paper. May leave anything, but don't leave this thing. And it is also main emphasis on the mains GS. So we have, and for that I generally recommend to all my students, please do read first NCERT book. Broad idea you must have, then good. So next period is this, and generally it's a period of what you call national struggle. Something after 1850, some events now find out. Then, but main thing is of course 1885 to 1947. अब कैसे पढ़ेंगे? This is a period of national struggle. मेरी बात समझे आप? This period is not for history, it's also covering other areas. Yes or no? Everything is covering here. So now, constitution history also, everything is covered. Now, we divided many parts. इसको आप एक एक पढ़ेंगे parts में, so that you can understand the change. बीच में से पढ़ेंगे समझ नहीं आएगा. The first period, of course, you know it. What is it? 1885 to 1905. What you call moderates. Moderates. What are the important people? What are they writing and all? Next period is 1905 to 1905 to. सुनने को इसी 1905 to. ये तो सबको clear है. Then come on, my prompters. My prompters here. Now this period is 19. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Why? Why 19 is important? Yes. This is the period which marks the entry of Mahatma Gandhi. आपने एक moderate पढ़ा, एक extremist पढ़ा, and third phase is Gandhi phase. And you know, Gandhi phase में इसमें आपका अच्छा Gandhi was not interested in the movement. He wanted to relax. चंपारण movement के हाँ ठीक हो गया. Why did he decided to join national movement? Why did he join national movement? Why he jumped into the fray? What he? No, why did he join? My wife, 1920, he joined. What you call Jallianwala Bagh, and then Rowlatt Act. Only then. That marks the entry. The new phase coming up. उसमें आप 1916 का लखनऊ पैक्ट भी, ये भी, फलाना ठिकाना, गदर पार्टी, सब इसमें आएगा. All these points. So read that. All important points. I think इस period में इसमें क्योंकि एक इसमें सारे important है. इसमें एक phase बन जाता है. No. And 1920 by Gandhi phase. Gandhi phase शुरू होता है. इसमें कितने phases बने? First phase Gandhi. Gandhi joined on what basis? I will join only lead you if you follow my basic principle of non-violence. He withdrew. Non-cooperation movement, Chori Chora incident, the Khilaf movement. He said, I don't accept you. I don't deserve to be your leader. He withdrew. So that's the first phase. In 1924, when he withdrew, he left the move. He went around. People say he's dead. But he was not dead. He was going on Bharat Jodo Yatra. Yes, he was a Bharat Jodo Yatra, explaining to people his message. And then, next phase is 1922, 1930. It's a Pool Savraj Day, सब आ गया. Why 1930? 1930 is which march? Gandhi March. What is Gandhi March? Why civil division? Why is important? 1930, there was a mass movement which was joined even by the females. Ladies were led by Sarojini Naidu. What happened? In that movement, ladies and males were hit with a stick. They were beaten up, but not a single person raised her in hand. They preferred to go to the girls. They got punished. But that means what? Gandhi has come to stay. Gandhi's principle is accepted by everybody. So that is another phase. Then, of course, next phase is 1932. 1932, come on. 1942. 1930, Round Table Conference. अब उसके बाद क्या हुआ? British people are trying to pacify him. Tidbits. उसको टुकड़े फेंक रहे हैं. But 1942, he said nothing doing. He gave the call for do or die. So that इसमें सब कुछ आ गया, सुभाष चंद्र बोस का रोल भी आ गया, सबके जितने जितने करेक्टर सब इस बीच में, आपका एक्ट भी आ गए, उसमें 1919 का एक्ट भी आ गया, 1935 का एक्ट भी आ गया, ये सात जब पढ़ेंगे. एंड देन 1942 के बाद 1942 45 आफ्टर जब उन्होंने कहा आपको बार की बात देंगे, एंड देन 45 टू 47 ट्रांसफर ऑफ पावर. माय पॉइंट इज माय डियर बॉयज, इसको एक एक चैप्टर को अलग पढ़ेंगे और उसकी जो इवेंट्स है सारे में एक एक में लिखेंगे, उसके अचीवमेंट्स, इसमें पटेल का आगे रेफरेंस, सुभाष का कंट्रीब्यूशन और एवरीथिंग. तो दिस इज समथिंग इज ए वेरी डिटेल है, छोटा पीरियड लेकिन बहुत डिटेल. तो इसमें आप देखिए जितना ध्यान देंगे उतना ज्यादा. इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, है भी बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग. सो दैट्स ऑल. सो दैट इज व्हाट एंशिएंट मेडिवल मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री. मैंने आपको सारा रोड मैप आपके सामने प्रेजेंट कर दिया. इज इट क्लियर टू यू? हैव यू फाउंड इट बेनिफिशियल टू यू? हैव यू गॉट इट व्हाट इज द व्हाट पीरियड है? आपको पता कौन सा टीचर क्या पढ़ा रहा है, कैसे पढ़ा, क्या कनेक्ट करना उसको? एनीथिंग व्हिच इज नॉट क्लियर यू कैन आस्क मी. जोर से बोलिए. सॉरी, couldn't understand. बताइए क्या कह रहे हैं? हाँ, पट्टा दक्कल. I spelled it out. It's a one hectare PA double TA DA double KAL. Patta Dakkal. It is in Karnataka. It was very important art center of the Chalukyas. And here we have temple called Patta Dakkal, which is a mixed life. That's
Who built the first temple?
who built the first temples were built by Chandragupta II. Chandragupta II built a Sanchi devoted to Vishnu. Usme, why is the first temple? What is the first temple? It's the first temple which has got. It's got what? It's a. I've seen that there is a statue of Vishnu which is missing. But what is it? It has got. It has no top, no shikhar. First building temple, but there is no shikhar. Next temple, what we say, Jhansi and Nadri, small ridge, then bigger. So that structure on the top becoming big. The shikhar became bigger. And biggest shikhar is, of course, because Viman is, of course, Britishwar temple. The shikhar is the main. That's. So here the first temple near Sanchi, which is built by him, is dedicated to Vishnu. No. Okay? This is how this way is going. So Indian history, very different phases. But one thing you must have noticed, which I have tried to explain, is our culture is one of synthesis. Never fight. Sorry? So that is it. Any other question? Now I am coming to the main phase. Oh, so, my God, time. Is it clear to you now? You tell me, is it beneficial or not? Every student told me it's both beneficial because Pallavas, Cholas, aap log confused kar jate. If you draw the map and follow me on the board, I think there will not be any problem. हर एक period का मैंने छोटा-छोटा characteristic feature आपको बता दिया है. There. It's background map. You read any chapter, anytime you'll understand. Now, today I'm going to start with the first topic. First topic is prehistory. And prehistory is the longest phase of Indian history. And it's a history it is a history of what? Prehistory is actually, note down if you like, prehistory is the story of man's. It's a story, prehistory is a story of man's journey from cave to villages. From hunting to farming. Hunting to farming. And from nomadic life to settled life. And it's the longest phase of human journey. Prehistory is the period of change of history from life of the man from caves to villages, from hunting to farming and to nomadic life. And it's the longest phase. So we divide it into 3 parts. And it's a period called, prehistory is also known as Stone Age. It is also known as Stone Age because Stone was the only tool they used. Stone was the only material they used for their tools. I'm repeating. This was also in a Stone Age because stone was the only material they used for their tools. And this phase with the three parts. What do you call? We divide into three parts. Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, and we call it Neolithic. Paleo-Mesolithic means this is L. Lithic means stone, only stone might differ. Neolithic. Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. See, and these are the terms we have coined. Why we have coined? What are the main security terms? What are terms mean? These are period, these are this periods, Paleolithic and all, Mesolithic and all, they indicate what? At these terms I say we have coined. Why? Because we noticed in this period a gradual growth in better type of tools. Tools became smaller, sharper, and more protective. Sharper, better, more handy, more sharper, gradually. So Paleolithic, Mesolithic indicates a gradual growth in the tool types, better tool technology. Now, among these three, the biggest period, longest period is Paleolithic. So we divide it into three parts. Paleolithic period we divide into three parts. What are three parts? One we call it Lower Paleolithic. Lower Paleolithic period. Then we call it Middle Paleolithic period. And then we call Upper Paleolithic period. Lower, middle, and upper. Lower का क्या मतलब हुआ? The one we find at the lowest level. We call it lower because that is the earliest. जो सबसे नीचे है इसका मतलब सबसे पहले layer. उसके बाद दूसरी layer. तो उसके बाद तीसरी layer. तो upper means later. सबसे पुरानी लोअर हुआ, उसके बाद मिडिल हुआ, उसके बाद अपर पैलेट. This is what we have. And these are three parts. Mesolithic is the period, middle period. Neolithic means new stones when better tools coming up. There were different types of tools. I'm not going into detail. Actually, I have my book on prehistory, proto-history, which is available on Amazon also. And there's a textbook in Delhi University for B honors and all that. If you add that, it's available on the internet also, you can download it there. So, but I'm not going to details about that's not important for you. But basic thing I'm telling you, because now our history goes back to most ancient times. This is a period studied by your anthropology people, but they do not know what we are going to read. They are talking times, but what we are talking from history point of view. So these are the three pages each part band. And one of the most important tools which are used in this period, many tools were there. I'm not going to tell all that. Most important tools in the Paleolithic period was, the most important was hand axe. One of the most important tools was hand axe. I'm not going to tell the hand axe. Why hand axe? It is made of stone. You can hold it from the butt. There's a butt and sides are sharp. You can use as you to dig the roots of fruits, whatever it is. That way. What they used in Mesolithic period? Now here tools were, what do you call it? Anybody? Microliths. Microliths is small tools. What is small tool? They were like cut of the chip. One chip, like a triangle. The small tools like triangle. Small triangles coming up. Chipped out of. What is the tool in Neolithic period? Neolithic period, the tools were very polished, sharp, and ground. Polished and sharp is what? Early tool. See, early any tool you used. After the use, it became useless. Why? Every tool after the use once use became useless. Why? Its edges became blunt. But now that they use the tool which could be grinded. Ground means grinded. Grinded means you can rub it against the rough wall. Have you seen an electrician come into your house? If the screwdriver becomes blunt, what he does? He tries to draw it on the hard surface. As it becomes, so same tool can be used again and again, and it will be sharp. And it also very. And the tool in this period is known as, it goes by one word. Only one time, it goes by one word tool. This is known as CELT. CLT means axe of different type, very sharp. So here, one of the most, many tools are there. One of the most tools are hand axe, with all stool, all hand, stone, nothing more. And then micro and better tools. And Neolithic period also marks the beginning of farming. It also marks the beginning of anybody else? Pottery, absolutely pottery. Why pottery? Indicating some sort of a surplus. Pottery coming in. And that marks farming means settled life. जब आपकी खेती farming with you settled. Why are you settled? Why get you settled with a farming life? आपने जो बोया है, you want to wait for your labor to let it to be fructify. उसका product बनना चाहिए. So this is the period we have. This is the period we have waiting for your seeds to ripen, whatever you call it. So this is the growth. Among them, the longest phase is Paleolithic period. Now, हम अपना history के हिसाब से पढ़ रहे हैं. Paleolithic period coincides. What is the important feature of Paleolithic period? Paleolithic period is, it coincides with one particular climate. What was the climatic situation this period was? What was the climatic condition? Anybody? It's the climate of the period goes by the technical word called Pleistocene. What it means? Ice Age. Now, Ice Age का क्या मतलब होता है? What do you mean Ice Age? The whole world was covered with ice. Now tell me, what sort of people will be living in Ice Age? What sort of animals will be living? What sort of people will be living? What sort of animals can be survive in this Ice Age? Very big, hefty, hair all over the body. Men also very heavy, big. Why? Only such species could survive in cold weather. No agriculture is possible because of pala. So man was like an animal. He's moving around one place to another in search of food. Staying in open air, sometimes under the cave. But what is important? What is important today, which is the main idea of my writing that book was, because what we notice now, we notice that Paleolithic tools. Today, what we notice that Paleolithic tools have been found at many places in India. Today, we find that Paleolithic tools have been recovered from many areas. Which are the areas? I will not got the names, so not to get confused. Where one is called Son Valley, S-O-N, Son Valley, which is Rawalpindi. We have found in Shivalik. We have found in Rajasthan. We have found in Gujarat. We have found in Maharashtra. We have found in Andhra. We have found in Karnataka. We have found in Tamil Nadu. Which is the place in Tamil Nadu? This is important. Place in Tamil Nadu is Ati Rama Pakkam, M-A Pakkam, near Chennai. Ati Rama Pakkam. This is important. Note down bracket. We have found all right. First, the tools were found in many places. Shivalik Hills, Son Valley, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Andhra, and also Mayurbhanj here, Orissa. Also Garo Hills. Where are Garo Hills? Meghalaya. We have found in places. Among them, note down, among them, Atirama Pakkam, note down, among them, Atirama Pakkam is the first site which was discovered. Atirama Pakkam was first time which was discovered. Where we found a Paleolithic hand axe in 1860s. Atirama is the first place where we discovered in 1860s a Paleolithic hand axe. And this discovery marks the beginning of prehistoric studies in our country. I'm repeating, there are many sites that have been found. Atirama Pakkam is one near Chennai. It is the first place where we discovered hand axe, which marks the beginning of prehistoric studies in India. That is it. So Atirama Pakkam has come in some examinations, so I thought I should tell you. Now, what is the importance here now? देखिए अब हम हिस्ट्री वाले कैसे पढ़ते? Now this means, now what we notice, mark my words, पहले उसके बाद में लिखिएगा. What I mean, today what we notice, our researchers today indicated Paleolithic man was staying in India. Right from 6 lakhs years back. Paleolithic man was staying from 6 lakhs, and Paleolithic period was not an individual phenomenon, not one single phenomena. It shows that Paleolithic had a pan-Indian character. Let me explain. Today, listen to me now. We have found Paleolithic tools at not one place, at many places in India today. It means what? It means what? That Paleolithic man in India was not staying at one or two places. It was staying on many places in India. That means Paleolithic period in a history was Paleolithic period in a history was a pan-Indian character. It had a pan-Indian character. Pan-Indian का मतलब जानते हैं हम? All India character. I'm repeating. Earlier Paleolithic tools were found in one or two places. Latest research indicates that tools have been found in many parts of India. That means prehistoric period is a pan-Indian character. It means man had been staying in India at least from, date is controversial, at least from 6 lakhs years back. It means what again? आप लोग पूछते हैं इस आर्य से पहले हिंदुस्तान में कौन रहता था? हड़प्पा पहले से कौन रहता था? Now we come to know that man had been living in India as back as from 6 lakhs years, and not at one place many years. That means India was also one of the cradles of human civilization. हिंदुस्तान में आदमी अब से नहीं रह रहा, आर्य से नहीं, उससे पहले भी 6 लाख साल से आदमी रह रहा है. So India is also a place where you have pan-Indian character. It is also one of the cradles of human civilization. तो आजकल हिस्ट्री तो प्री हिस्टोरी पढ़ने से ये हमारा फायदा है. वो लोग आप एंथ्रोपोलॉजी टूल्स पढ़ते रहेंगे, लेकिन जो मैं बता रहा हूँ, हम वी विल कनेक्ट दिस paleohistoric period with later periods. So this is the period we show. So it has brought a history as back as, it has taken a history as back as to 6 lakhs years back. There. Is it clear to you? Paleolithic prehistoric period studies indicate that Paleolithic had a pan-Indian character. It was not an isolated phenomenon. Next period is Mesolithic period. I'm pretty sure the details because it's very lengthy, but for the main thing, I'm just telling you. Next period is Mesolithic period. Mesolithic period. Mesolithic period, there was a change in climate. What is the climate now? What is the climate now? Which is called, please tell me, Holocene. Holocene means climate became warm. And we are in Holocene age. And with the warm climate, देखिए history environment का क्या असर है? What happened with the warm? What happened? With warm climate, what happened? Come on. What is the one? I started melting. With the melting ice, what happened? Rivers were formed, ponds were formed, forests were formed. That's one part. But what happened to the men and animals? What happened to men and animals? No. आप सोचते यही तो आपको सोचना हिस्ट्री में. No. असली चीज आपने बताई. Now wait, see, with the change in climate, those big species disappeared. Why? Why? Because they cannot live in warm weather, and people and animals became like us. मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ बच्चों, main is food. Men became like us. No man had a problem. Man, animals became like we have today. What is the main problem now? आदमी की सबसे जरूर खाना है. अब खाने के लिए क्या प्रॉब्लम है इसको? Come on. Because now animals are smaller, they were more faster and fleeting animals. Army cannot run so fast. So what he did? He had to change the tool types. He adjusted with the change type and started making small tools like arrowhead. He fixed it with a stick and shoot. So with the change, you see the technology is changing with the change because main technology is connected with the food. He started using big sticks fixed with some stone and all that on the top, hitting it like a javelin. Javelin and archery are two oldest Olympic games right from that time. So that is a so new animals coming up, new food coming up, man had new problem. So that is called Holocene. So that is the new tools coming up. That is the Mesolithic. Now, with the Mesolithic change coming up, Again, one thing more coming, a small animal, what happened? With a small animal, what happened? Man was able to capture them and domesticate them. So along with hunting, they developed a technique hunting, what you call? Domestication. अब domestication क्या मतलब होता है? See, आप देखिए हिस्ट्री समझने की कोशिश क्या है? छोटी छोटी बातें जो आपको सुनिए. Domestication क्या मतलब हुआ? Domestication is something which is supplementing their food diet. Supplement करिए diet को कैसे? Food को क्यों? Hunting से एक तो hunting से एनिमल मिल रहा है. आपको एनिमल domestication कैसे मिला? Domestication is hunting means what? मजाक भी कहते हैं कैसे? अगर घर में आप साहब किसी को भूख बाहर नहीं गया, बारिश हो गई, उसको खाना नहीं मिला, क्या करेगा? घर वाली कहेगी खाना नहीं मिला, और पीछे बकरा बड़ा ले आना, उसको आज चिकन खाए, आज मटन खाएंगे, आज चिकन करी बनेगी. अभी जिस पोल्ट्री फार्म वाले देखे ना आपने, पोल्ट्री फार्म वाले थे घर में जो अंडे वो मुर्गी पालते हैं, उनके रोज अंडे की भुजी खाते हैं रोज. इसलिए क्या कहते हैं आप लोग? घर की मुर्गी क्या मतलब? जब खा लो. So hunting, domestication means better food coming up. मैंने आपको बताया बच्चे लोगों, whole history is the history of food. उसके बिना आदमी सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकता आदमी. So that is, and man adjusted. So this is a period of growth of, and अच्छा food मिलेगा, population also started increasing. Why population increasing with the food? Because now childbearing capacity of women increases. Children get a better food and all that, immunity. So that is the new phase. Now that's it's a mesolithic. Now one thing is very important, mesolithic, that I'm going to dictate. One more thing we notice in this period. We see the beginning of painting. So I'm going to tell you, I dictate what is the main features of prehistoric painting. Question is, what are the main features of prehistoric painting? इसको आप 150 वर्ड में लिखिए. कैसे लिखेंगे? What is introduction आप रखेंगे और क्या क्या चीज लिखेंगे? Be precise. So I'm dictating, note down. Introduction. Prehistoric paintings. Paintings are one of the means. So Neha is asking which type of architecture in Pradesh. My dear girl, it is Dravidian architecture. Brideshwar belongs to Dravidian architecture. Khajuraho temple, Jagannath temple is a different type of temple. That is also the Orient architecture, which I tell you later on. So yeah. So she is asking Brideshwar temple, which architecture it is? Dravidian architecture. Anyway, what I was saying? Paintings are one of the means adopted by man to express his mind, thought, and daily activities. Mind, thought, and daily activities. In the context of India, prehistoric paintings belong to Upper Paleolithic and Mesolithic periods. In the context of India, the prehistorians belong to Upper Paleolithic and Mesolithic periods. And these have been found at many places in India. These have been many places. But the main site is, most important site is Bhimbetka in MP, where around 600 rock shelters have been found painted. In the context of India, the earliest paintings belong to Upper Paleolithic and Mesolithic periods. And they are found at many places, but the most important site is Bhimbetka in MP, where 600 caves or rock shelters have been found painted. Now, the themes of the painting are themes. अच्छा, इसको अलग लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. क्या करेंगे आप? Themes लिख के अंडरलाइन कर देंगे. Continuing, because आपको 150% ज्यादा नहीं जाना है. Themes of painting include hunting, fishing, honey collection, family scenes, and all this evidence of dancing scenes. Themes include hunting, fishing, honey collection, family scenes का family life लिख दिया, family life and dance, earliest evidence dancing scenes. But there is no evidence of farming. Because farming had not developed. There is no evidence of farming. Now, these are the means. Now, these themes, hunting, these are same. Farming is not there. But among all these themes, the most dominant are hunting scenes. These are scenes are there, but most dominant scenes are hunting. Predominant scenes are hunting. Hunted animals include, what are the includes? Hunted animals include boar, bison जानते हैं आप, जंगली भैंसा, tiger, elephant, rhino, etc. Boar, bison, tiger, elephant, rhino, etc. But most common are deers and nilgai. Most common are the deers and nilgai. These are the means. And the weapons, these were hunted with the weapons. The weapons used, or you can say weapons used are what you call bows and arrows. Pointed stick like a javelin. And one thing is very important, which is interesting, which I given in the photograph also. One is called barbed spear. What is barbed? See, there's a spear like that, sharp. And these are called barbs. You understand? If you throw it in the body of the animal, all intestine, everything will come out of it. In my opinion, this is my opinion, I don't know, this cannot be made of what you call this stone. It must have been made of bone of some animal. So that means along with the stone, they also started using bone. So these are there. So how much animals are there, and these are animals introduced the bone. And these are the, I told you, these are still being used for the tribal. Now, these paintings are not proper paintings. They are not proper paintings. And they are made on a rough wall. They are made in a rough wall in a stick-like fashion. They were made, it is not proper paintings, they are made on a rough wall in a stick-like. What is a stick-like? Suppose the person is showing like that. Some animals are shown like that. So they are like line drawings. They are not full, all the features are here, only outer lines are there. Sometimes lines are there also, but basically they're not proper. But the features are not clear. So these are not proper paintings like stick. What you have the technical word, stick-like paint. And they use many colors. In the painting, they use mineral colors. For painting, they use mineral colors. And two colors they use more often. Which are two colors? Red and? Come on, look at it up. Red and white. Where did they take the red from? Where did red from? The mineral colors में देखिए. बच्चे लोग अजीब जवाब दे रहे थे आप लोग. Other group में. What do you red? Where did they red from? Sorry. कहाँ from this? What red? Red came from not somebody said blood. No. Not blood. I say use a mineral color. What do you call? Hematite. You know hematite? what you call, Hindi में क्या कहते हैं? Geru. From there you have what you call sindoor, you make it, or the Hanumanji being painted and all. And white coming from lime. So probably these are two minerals they use. And they mix them with animal juice, जिसको आप चर्बी कहते हैं, या any plant juice, and they use it long bridge they made it. So they are not properly they're painted. These are. And one of the important scenes is there. One very important scene is a burial scene. We see the child is being buried. One scene we see the child is being buried. Child burial. And people around him are crying. Child burial and people around him are crying. What do I mean? What do I mean? It means some ritual has developed. Family relationship has developed. Because they are crying means some sort of family attachment is there. And burying means some ritual is there. So these is the thing. So they had, these colors, they have different scenes were used. And basically. That's, and the earliest evidence dancing. But now the issue is, what was the purpose of this painting? That's a matter we can't decide. One thing is clear, these paintings were not made for aesthetic factors. They were not there for enjoyment. There must have been some reason for it. What was the reason? We are not sure. But most of us believe what? Maybe these were ritual paintings. Maybe some ritual. Ladies नाच भी रही हैं वहां पे, हो भी रहा है, painting भी है. Maybe some. What was the ritual? We have no idea. So this is what is prehistoric paint. Few words. अगर आप 10-15 वर्ड कम भी लिखे, no problem, should not be. आप देखिए, मैंने कहीं प्लेस्टोसीन का जिक्र किया है, कहीं होलोसीन का जिक्र किया है, कहीं असलमा पक्का, कुछ not required. You have to state. किसने वहां ढूंढी थी, इतनी बड़ी वो थी? No. State. Don't try to teach the examiner. Absolutely. Are you getting my point? Have I written anything which is not connected with painting? No. Now, sometime back there was a question. Question आपके मैंने आपका सब difficult आते हैं, complex type. Question was, what are the main features of prehistoric painting and how they are different from modern painting? A modern painting आपको मिलेगा नहीं, then you have to make your own honest question. How now? Tell me. 2-3 points बताइए. Why is different from the modern painting? What is the different prehistoric painting, modern painting? ऐसे क्वेश्चन आते हैं आपके, which are not in any book. और 2-3 पॉइंट लिखेंगे आप, you get the marks. You use your mind. Yeah. What is different? कौन बताएगा? My prompter बहुत बोले कहाँ है वो? हाँ. Wait a minute. Sorry?
Human are not completely dependent. They are still like.
No. Artificial. No. What is artificial? Right, absolutely. One is they were using mineral colors. Today we use all color, other colors. That's good. Chemical colors we are using. Right, absolutely. Number 2. These paintings are made in rough wall as it is. Other paintings today, canvas is made. Ajanta painting में काफी पहले दीवार बनाएंगे, तब उसके ऊपर बन रहे. Number 3, these paintings are representing their actual life. जो जानवर खा रहे हैं, मार रहे हैं. But they are today, you make any scene or can be made. Right from mythological scene to any scene you can make. So they are true to they represent their actual lifestyle. They're not like a mythological figure. That's it. So 2-3 points लिखेंगे, you get everything, my dear boys and girls. We also know as examiner कि आप कोई research थोड़ी कर रहे, but आपने question समझा. And this, are you getting, this is the way you write. This is okay. Are you getting my point how to write? You can see also, इसको पढ़ा है, उसको देखिएगा, दोबारा पढ़ के देखेंगे कितना रेफरेंस. I'm repeating my dear boys, अगर 150 में आप 100 वर्ड भी लिखेंगे, but to the point लिखेंगे, you will get 4 marks. Don't to खींचे जल्दी लिखे. कहाँ पैलियोलिथिक को इसको कहते हैं, पैलियोलिथिक भी ये होता था. नहीं, you are not. अपा पैलियोलिथिक मेसोलिथिक थका नहीं खत्म. This is called precise. Now, next period is Neolithic period. Neolithic period, farming and the thing came up. With this coming up, now new life came up. With the coming up, Neolithic, when farming came up, they became settled, and now the civilization was ready to take off, particularly. उसके बाद man has not looked back. And Neolithic period में आप अपने पढ़ सकते हैं कौन सा? One important period, Kashmir Neolithic. Note down. Kashmir Neolithic. What is Kashmir Neolithic? Read at home. That's it. Neolithic period. Neolithic. Now Neolithic. Next phase is Neolithic. Neolithic, better stone coming up, and one very important Neolithic civilization is, Neolithic area is One most important Neolithic period is area is Kashmir. मैंने आपको बताया ना, हम लोग इस एग्जामिनेशन में सारे एरियाज को कवर करना चाहते हैं, उसमें कश्मीर भी, साउथ भी आ जाता है, रिपीट भी होता है. So Kashmir is a very important part which sometimes they ask. So what is Kashmir Neolithic? Read it from the main files. That is the word. That is called Paleolithic period. Prehistory. I'm repeating, my boys and girls, earlier we had no idea about it. It's only because the carbon dating, other thing, we have got to know the actual thing. Now history goes back to at least 6 lakhs years back. That's it. So that means man had been living here. पहले एक दो जगह साइट मिला था, आप सारी इंडिया में जहां देखते हैं हमको टूल्स मिलते हैं. That's the history. That is what the beauty of Indian history. Okay, I think should better stop here. Next time I'm going to deal with class number. No confusion should be there. आप नोट कर लीजिए उसको. Okay, thank you so much.